Hello, everybody, and welcome to the last stream of the Charity Cup. I am Pickle, the owner of Metanoia Esports, and I'm joined by Lycan, our CSGO and operational manager,
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
and also Toothy, our Dota manager.
Hi guys.
Um, yeah, so we've reached the end. It kind of feels like it's been like 2 days, and on the other hand, it feels like it's been forever. How are you guys feeling at the moment?
Well,
Well, it's
from
been
my
a.
side,
No, please
go for
continue.
it, Toothy.
No, continue.
This happens way too often.
I'll let the young kids go first.
Oh, okay. I see. Well, from my side, it's definitely been a ride. It's like you said, at times it feels like it's only been a couple of days, and then you get nights like these where I've been multitasking my head off my little shoulders, and it feels like it's been a year. Um, I do think that we have progressed in a manner that we more or less expected. And I'm very happy to see that we are nearing the end with some pretty good content. I'll
Okay.
throw it over to you now, Toothy.
Thanks, man. Yeah. So, from my side, it's been a ride. It's been fun. It's been exciting. As we know, even with experience with all the other things that's been going on, there's always going to be something with a bit of a hiccup, but we're always going to learn and stuff to do better. So it's really been fun, and in my opinion, I wish we could have seen this go on forever. Um, at least maybe 2, 3 more months with the charity cup because everybody's just been having so much fun. The notes that I've been getting from everybody is just that they've been enjoying it so much, and there's a lot of people that eventually came and said, yeah, they wish they actually did take part. So yeah, it's been really fun.
Well, clearly, Toothy wants me to have a full head of grey hairs and not just a couple. Um, they've
Yes.
certainly multiplied over the past couple of days. FYI, I'm not that old. Um,
No, just me.
It's been leaked.
It's only Titi that's that old, apparently.
on the note of the participants that maybe wanted to partake, I know we had a couple of people message us after entries closed. Um, we've got the dates for next year already worked out. We've also got the schedule worked out for next year as well. That will be um, up on, I don't know, wherever we decide to put it up. We'll let you know on social media. So all those dates are out, the registration dates and everything. We have, however, decided in order to work out the scheduling beforehand, we've put a player or a team limit on everything. So there's only 16 teams for CSGO, and hopefully next year we'll get more interest than one Dota team, and then we'll be able to do 16 teams for Dota as well. Um, yeah, we'll talk about more about next year. Afterwards, I want to say thank you to Lycan and Toothy. We've all kind of loved and hated each other over the past couple of weeks, but it's been fun, and hopefully we'll be able to do next year better and bigger for everyone that was involved.
Yeah, I'm very excited for next year. I think we now know what we let ourselves into. We'll definitely better prepare, have a lot more content, have a lot more surprise events. There's a couple of surprises I wanted to announce that I've promised a few people that we will unfortunately not be able to get to. Hence the massive excitement for next year. I think the planning and the people we've got lined and the events that we planning, it's just going to be over the top, and it's going to make this year's charity event look like a what? Help me out here. I can't do this alone.
Like a baby.
Okay.
This is a small start. Next year we're growing, we're going bigger, we're going better, and it's going to be so much more fun. I can promise you guys that it's. Oh, I'm looking
Yeah,
forward to next year already, and I've already got a few people in mind that I want to speak to. So I'm looking
fantastic.
forward. I'm in fifth gear. I hope you guys have started your engines.
The arguments and the hate was real. Couple of touch and go moments. I'm sure between players and teams and managers and but it's all for a good cause. And at the end of the day, it's nice to know that we can just get together and be a community instead of just rivals for a couple of nights a week, you know.
Yeah, I think next I'd also like to say thank you for the 12 teams that entered. If we have a quick look, it's REA's Fox, Ladon Academy, REA's Ivy, REA's GTV, REA's Clio, Metanoia Invoked, VG Endeavour, and AHE, I think it's Aces High Esports, haha, and Aces High Esports Venom. They are all the teams that entered. It was really fun having you guys. Without you guys, obviously, we would not have been able to do this. So thank you for your support. And then also to our sponsors, VS Gaming made their servers available to us. Aonic Tech did all the website stuff for us, which has really been a huge help. Manoa Design Studio has a couple of things in store for us after the grand final, so you guys will have to stick to our social media to do that. And then Elsa was also very involved in helping us with the arrangements of everything, getting everything sorted. Um, and then obviously Comic Con Africa, who made it possible for us to send Nikki Miller, I can't remember her in-game name, to Comic Con with a friend or loved one or a frenemy. I don't know who she took, but we were able to send her to Comic Con. She won the social media competition, and we were also able to show our appreciation to Patchy, who's been literally sitting here. I think he skipped one night throughout
Yeah.
this whole event. Um, so it's been really fun having him and our other casters on board as well. Um, if I just pull up our casters, I'm sorry, I was not I forgot about the classes. I'm sorry, guys. You suffer in silence, apparently.
No, I'm sure they didn't suffer in silence
um,
entirely.
we had a lot of big names on board, but unfortunately, due to scheduling stuff, they weren't able to join us. We'll make sure you join us next year. But other than that, obviously, I'd like to thank PatchworkFennec for his streaming and casting throughout this. Um, Ed Meister has also joined us a couple of nights. It was really fun to hear your puns. Um,
Oh, it was good.
EsProxy, um, she's also casting with Patchy tonight. She's also been really active with casting this event, and we really appreciate you, lady. And then also a shout out to the Fuck and Tenchu, who assisted us a couple of nights when we ran into some issues to also help out to make sure that every single game was streamed. So that was really awesome. I'm getting a message here to also give a shout out to um, Recoil, who or Recoil ZA. I don't know how you want to pronounce it, but he was also on board. But obviously, due to um, time constraints and some clashes in his schedule, he wasn't able to join us. Um, we wish you a happy retirement. He's not that old. A retirement.
No, no, he's not that old, but he is retiring. Yes, he's retiring from the esports scene for a while.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna throw it over to Toothy, who wants to tell you guys about the road to the final.
Yes, it's the road to the final, guys. We are finally in the final, and this is where we are getting to. So we started off with all these teams, and obviously with the first bracket, it was Ria's Fox versus Ria's Ivy, where they won 2-0, going up against Ladon CSGO. So Ria's Fox versus um, Ladon CSGO, the main team there. And they had quite an interesting game. The first time they played these guys together, it was map 1 was 16-6 on train in favor of Ladon CSGO, and they took the second map 16-4. So these guys really played well on that first map going into it. And then right from there, Ladon had, I won't say it's been an easy road going down, but next up they faced off straight into Reace EXO, where they took Reace EXO down again 2-0. A lot more closer rounds this time. It was 16-14 on the first map, Inferno. The second map, 16-11. I cannot remember the map that they played there. It has slipped my mind, unfortunately. But then right after that, they took down VG Endeavour to bring them to the finals. Now, VG Endeavour also being the guys that they will be facing tonight, as VG Endeavour didn't make it through. And this is where it gets interesting. We had VG Endeavour, who started off playing against White Rabbit Amaryllis, who they won 2-0. VG Endeavour then took on Bravado Finesse and won them 2-0, getting them to the upper bracket final, where they faced against Ladon CSGO. And now this was the map that we had, which was really fun. Or not the map, the match. So if we take a look at what we can see there, these guys have then, obviously, when they lost that match, they went down to go and play. I think I opened up. Oh, yeah, they did play Bravado Finesse in the last match. And it was a really good game again. Once again, map 1 was on Inferno. Endeavour won 19-17, taking us into overtime there. And then the last time they took Nuke, which was 16-12 in favor of Endeavour.
Yeah.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, I'm going to hand it over to EsProxy and, hey?
Yeah.
Well, apparently we have the knife round starting. Are we not?
Patchy?
Well, this
Okay.
is awkward.
So EsProxy and Patchy will let you guys know. I know the ladies come prepared about the 2 charities in between everything as well, because that's what this is all about. Have fun, guys.
Thank you. Thanks to the panel.
Yeah,
Patchy, you ready for
that was
this?
interesting. I am certainly ready for this. Definitely nice to listen to the long road that these teams have taken to get here. But what's more interesting to me, I think, aside from the amazing time that everyone's had, is that this game, VGE versus Ladon CSGO, is the exact same game that happened in the upper bracket finals. And of course, Ladon CSGO won that one against VGE. They knocked VGE down into the lower bracket, and obviously VGE went through and actually won that entire lower bracket to be back here in the grand finals. So it's a repeat match.
For round 2.
Yeah. It's a kind of vengeance time, I suppose. See if VGE can
guess so, yeah.
get some revenge or something like that.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's exactly what you said. Ladon CSGO ultimately was the team that kicked Venom Gaming down to the low bracket. I mean, Venom Gaming fought hard. They beat all the teams that they needed to beat to come back to this winner bracket grand final and to take another shot. So, I mean, you have to wonder now, has Venom Gaming prepared, or do they have something in store? Because they've obviously already gone up against these guys. They've already lost against these guys, 2-0, I might add. So you have to wonder, are they prepared to take it into a little bit of a different situation now? We are going to go on to Nuke as the first map. And while we've got that loading, let me take you guys through the lineup for both teams. So for VG Endeavour, we've got Carnage, Xylem, Hadman V, Fear, and K9. On the side of Ladon, on the other hand, we do have Bullock, Gemini, Arkan, Sonics, and Inspector. Now, both of these teams have, obviously, for the Charity Cup sake, they have opted to support a charity of their choice. I'll take you guys through a little bit later what exactly their charities do and who they're supporting. But for Ladon, they are supporting the Willie's Animal Project. And for the side of VG, they are supporting Chalk South Africa. So both very awesome charities, and both charities definitely could use, the money that's raised tonight. So, I mean, ultimately, this is a fun tournament, for a good cause.
Yeah, absolutely. That's, I've said it a couple of times throughout all these games. It's really nice to be able to, get together as a community, just people who enjoy playing CSGO, get the teams together and support a good cause, So have a lot of fun and also, get something done. you know, a little bit of impact through video games, as it were. But like you said, we're going to be in Nuke here as the first map, and with that in mind, you have to look immediately towards what kind of utility usage we're going to be seeing out from these teams. And obviously, these two teams, we've seen they've come a long way. They've shown how strong they are throughout the tournament. So I definitely expect, like you said, that there'll have to be some sort of game plan in mind from both of these teams, considering they have matched up against one another before. So there has to be something up the sleeve.
Not just that, but I think Venom Gaming has also played so much Nuke in the last few games. I mean, they played against Bravado, if I remember correctly. They played against, I think, another team on this map. So, I mean, they've had a lot of practice for, as we know, a little bit of a new and upcoming team. So, in terms of experience, I think maybe, you know, the tournament is just what they needed to kind of get their footing a little bit and maybe work out what works, what doesn't work, and where they can maybe catch Ladon off guard. Well, we say maybe because realistically we don't even know. The only statistics we have is that Ladon's already faced this team and they had a clean sweep. So I'm curious to see if Venom Gaming have something up their sleeve for tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree 100%. But yeah, I don't know. As you already know, or perhaps been told, I am a bit of a Ladon fan. I came into this tournament knowing very little about them and have watched their academy and their main teams do so well that I became a little bit of a fanboy. So
Are you a fan? Are you a Ladon fanboy?
a little bit, just a little bit.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna try my best to stay they're not impartial.
Oh look, yeah, you know, everything's fair game. It's definitely
You're
gonna
just
be
gonna
interesting
scream a
to
little
watch.
bit louder when Ladon does a little bit louder.
Maybe. No,
It's
no.
fine, I'll catch you out later. Don't worry.
But yeah, no, it's definitely bound to be an interesting game. There's no doubt. I believe the last time we watched VGE play, we were rather confused. Most of that game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that game was. I think that game was against Bravado Finesse specifically.
Yes.
And that game just didn't make sense half the time. I mean, rounds that were supposed to be very easily, you know, either Venom or Bravado's round would always just go the other way. So I honestly don't know what to expect from tonight. But I mean, given that, we are going to see that Venom Gaming should be starting on the side of what it seems like T. So I mean, they'll be able to you know, take that aggression. As we said, you know, this map does rely heavily on utility and just getting into the right positions. Because I mean, you've got both your bomb sites right on top of each other, so sound cues and just juking the other team is very easy to do. So we'll see what Venom Gaming pulls out for their first round.
Yeah, absolutely. But the real question that I have in my mind right now is, does VGE play as erratically as they played in the previous time, or do you think that won't work against Ladon? They'll take maybe a more structured approach than before?
I think they definitely need to give Ladon the respect that they deserve. They have to know that Ladon is quite a good team. But I mean, given that respect, Kanye just took Inspector's head away, and Gemini replied almost immediately with our first Cobus for the night.
Gee, if this is how this is going to start, I mean, I hope we see a Cobus every round.
I mean, Connor's doing massive work. He's already sitting on 2k and has already cleared the bomb site. So, I mean, they're going to have a free bomb site now to take this plant. And as I say that, Herman is going to get the bomb down. And, I mean, Sonics and Bullock just doing quick work of the Venom Gaming defense here. So, I mean, now it's on a 2v2. Still got 2 players to find out for Ladon now if they want to get this defuse. I don't know if they're going to expect Havoc on the high rise there. Havoc is going to take a few shots. Oh, Bullock with the 180 is going to take him down. And now it's a 2v1. I mean, Sonics with a quick cleanup, and that's going to be Ladon's round now. I mean, as we were saying, you know, Venom Gaming need to give them that respect that they know that Ladon's got both the experience and the aim to combat these sort of erratic players. So, to answer your question, I think both, you know, structure and just like chaos is basically what Venom Gaming needs to use if they want to kind of get a leg up on Ladon. You know, make it unexpectable, basically.
Yeah, like you said, I think definitely the respect needs to come out for the way Ladon's been playing recently. So, there is definitely going to have to be something extra going on for VGE if they want to be able to kind of make this stuff work.
Yeah, I definitely think, I'm hoping that Venom Gaming have added a few strats to their strat book since we last saw them. Otherwise, I think it is going to be quite a one-sided game for Ladon. I mean, they have the experience. So, I don't know. What is your opinion on this map as itself? If we want to talk about CT to T side.
Well, every time I'm faced with a question like this, I have to take into account like the level of difficulty that it is to execute either side, and as I said before, when we saw this map, VGE against Bravado Finesse, I believe, I said that one of the things that you need to be able to do, on top of just knowing how to do utility on this map, is to be able to use it in your executes and whatnot. Going to perhaps rush, like I said, through that door to vents, one of the big strats that we saw in the major. You have to use the grenade and the smoke in tandem with one another very quickly to be able to get through that, stop any mollies and stop any sight, vision, line of sight going from the CT side. And conversely, on the CT side, you need to be able to throw your own counter mollies and nades and whatnot to stop that rush from coming out. So I think the T side is perhaps harder to execute in some ways, but it can also be a little bit difficult to crack into the sites, considering the CTs have, if they control the top floor strongly enough, they'll have pretty much access to both bomb sites, and it's difficult sometimes to break into that lower bomb site, which makes A the sort of default go-to choice all the time.
Yeah, I feel like also, I mean, as you mentioned, that door strat, it really relies on momentum. I mean, that last round there, Venom Gaming was taking it a little bit slow, but I mean, you already see them going into a quick push here onto A, but Gemini is going to lock it down, is going to take one down, is going to get the second, and Archon with a quick follow-up, and now we've already got 3 players inside of Venom Gaming down. With, I mean, just pistols against SMGs there, you're going to be at a disadvantage, but I mean, it was a good try there for them to get that momentum going, but unfortunately, Ladon, right now, they have the... not just the gun advantage, but also the position advantage there. But I mean, that's, in a way, that's what I want to see from Venom Gaming. But I feel like that was kind of just a, let's just go with it and get this round over with. If we get lucky, maybe we get a pick with the pistols. But I mean, that execute, I don't think in that situation is going to work.
Yeah, look, in that situation, like you said, outside here, they rushed the outside long position, and with pistols, that's going to be obviously a pretty easy disadvantage, considering the CTs have full weaponry, and they'll always win that range battle. Ooh, Bad is in the perfect position here. He's going to get one, but can't get any more than that. The pistol's going to be too much there. The number advantage always proving to be pretty good.
Unless you've got someone like Inspector sitting at the back there with an MP9 just to completely destroy Venom's chances there. But either way, Xylem is going to manage to get the bomb down. Unfortunately, that's pretty much all she wrote for Venom for, that round. But I mean, it's still good. Like, kudos to them for managing to get a kill or two and managing to get the bomb down. That means that they will be able to go into a full buy round this next round. But I'm curious to see what they're going to pull out for their first buy round, because it's really, right now, it's becoming, a bit repetitive. They're just trying to get numbers at this point, but they're getting picked off one by one by Ladon. There's no trade really happening. So we'll see what happens this round.
Yeah, like you said, first buy round, so we'll see good weapons on the side of VGE. They have actually, technically, theoretically, superior weapons. Now they have an AWP in the hands of Herman V. So they can now start to play a little bit more strong strats. They can play a bit slowly, maybe look for some crucial picks, and maybe get themselves into the round.
We mentioned it last time, the smoke executes the smoke wall here on the outside. But with that open gap there for Gemini, he's just going to have such a clear line of vision to spray into Venom Gaming with Archon backing him up. At this point, the Venom Gaming guys, they really just can't do anything with these smokes. I mean, that gap is incredibly large. At this point, it's practically like the smokes aren't even there.
Yeah, and I mean, well, the smokes aren't even there anymore now. And the other thing is, all the CTs are looking in the right direction. They're all watching the same spot. And that's actually going to give Carnage a little bit of an opening there. 2v2, which is a lot more than should have happened.
Oh, but unfortunately for Carnage, Bullock was just on the flank there. He knew exactly where Carnage was, so you knew exactly where to look. But I mean, good work there from Carnage getting into that flank and getting, those 2 kills. But unfortunately for his team, the numbers advantage, well, I guess the numbers disadvantage was just way too large. So I mean, now Gemini is watching this outside, is actually not going to spot Havoc, so that's going to give Havoc free reign into the A site, unless he decides to go outside now, which he'll be walking straight into Gemini's crosshairs.
Not to mention,
We're still going to be holding that.
the bomb isn't picked up just yet, so it looks like it'll have to be a save.
But Havoc did just give a sound cue away to Bullock, so Bullock knows exactly where he is. He is going to spot the bomb. I don't know if he's going to be hunting for this. Might just be playing it a little bit safe. He's just going to peek out there. Either way,
no
they
reason
well
to give
played
away a kill.
to Ladon there. They played that very calmly and collectively. I mean, with Carnage and that flank just getting 2 kills almost immediately. That was a very good response there from Ladon, just to pull back, take the numbers advantage with them to the end of the round, and that results in a 4-0 scoreline. So I mean, for Venom Gaming now, you have to wonder what can they do to kind of get a leg up on Ladon. It's seeming very one-sided towards Ladon. Ladon's constantly, no matter the numbers disadvantage, no matter the gun disadvantage, mind you, they've still been able to pull these rounds out fairly easily.
Yeah, and I think it comes back to this whole idea that I was talking about earlier, where the CTs, if they have the lockdown on this little level here, it's quite easy to stop the terrorists from getting into a spot, and if VGE is gonna, like put that wall down and leave a little bit of a gap and then not really do much and kind of get caught out, it's going to be so easy for the CTs to just hold the sites and hold the angles. You saw in the last round there, Ladon was pretty much all looking in the same direction because they knew exactly where VGE were. They knew exactly where they were coming from. They just had to wait. It was just a matter of time. Carnage, he did manage to get a little bit of a timing advantage and catch some players out. But had it not been for that, the round would have been over in any case.
Well, I mean, if you want to talk about advantages right now, Venom Gaming have managed to get onto the A site with very good teamwork there, managing to take that mouth control that we spoke about earlier that we thought with pistols was just the wrong timing. Fear is going to get a shot onto Sonics with Herman following up very quickly. And I mean, just like that, we've already got a 4v1 in favor of Venom Gaming. So they're very on track here to get their first round. I don't know if Gemini is going to spot Xylem out. He is eventually going to get traded out by Fear, and that's going to be the first round for Venom Gaming. Very well played to them for taking that momentum and keeping it forward throughout the round. So, I mean, as you mentioned there, so Ladon was caught out there. The trades just weren't happening. I mean, we had, Bullock and one of the other players fighting it out, but good shots from Fear just ultimately finished the round there off.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff we were looking for from VGE. He said we got to crack open the site, and that's exactly what they did. They just got the picks that they needed. Later, as you said, not getting the trades that they needed to get, and ultimately that was round 1 for VGE. So yeah, that's good stuff. We have to keep seeing some of that.
Also, interestingly enough, very nice shot there from Herman getting Sonics down, and that is the AWPer down for Ladon. So now, I was gonna say, Ladon can't really afford to lose this round. Very nice shot there from Arkan taking Carnage down. And that Molotov is going to slow Venom Gaming down.
And
is actually going to take Xylem down.
They've seen
and
the
that's
bomb as well.
And Arkan's already on the flank taking down the back defense. And now only 2 players left to defend and actually grab the bomb in hopes of winning this round. Very well played there from Ladon.
Yeah,
Some
and this
good
is
aggression.
great. They've locked the T's into this little room here, and they know they can't be anywhere else, so there's no reason to pretty much do anything. They can just hold these angles. They know the T's have to be somewhere.
And they have all the
holding
information
steps.
they need. Oh.
Ooh, beautiful.
Oh!
Some clean
Bullock.
headshots from Bullock and Inspector.
I mean, just cleaning that round up. That's brilliant teamwork there from Ladon. I mean, the utility usage alone was, a marvel in itself. They just managed to get rid of all those spaces that Venom Gaming really could get to. So, I mean, if you tie that up with a couple of good headshots, I'm sorry for Venom Gaming, but that was unfortunately quite a well played round there from Ladon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, we are seeing our first pause, so let's quickly take an opportunity just to talk about the T's that we mentioned earlier. So let's first off cover Ladon's charity, Willie's Animal Project. Now, the initial purpose of Willie's was to sterilize as many animals as possible. They've now extended to holding and helping over 1,000 homeless cats and dogs. So obviously the money raised here tonight will go towards feeding and helping these animals. If you guys want to check out more, please go to www.willies.org. That's spelled Willies, Wollies. We'll talk about Venom Gaming's charity later on, but again, it's such an awesome tournament, to be able to get a little bit of money for the community. So this is going to be quite a fun game to see.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's quite a privilege to be casting for these awesome games that we get to see here, and at the end of the day, the winning team gets to support a great cause, and we get to be a little bit part of that. So that's quite a lot of fun.
I want to just point out Gemini's early aggression here. He's already managed to take one of the players down and has already locked down Herman, which that is the AWP for Venom Gaming. So the AWP hasn't been able to be utilized because Gemini is just wasting time and taking more and more positions here.
Yeah, that's going to be full outside long control for the CTs. Herman all the way at the back there.
Connor's just going to try and back in, and he is going to take out Inspector. So I mean, they still have a chance here. It's relatively even if we talk about the bodies on the map ready to take a fight here. And Fear is going to take the first 5, is going to get taken down by Gemini, and now, very nice shot there by Bullock taking Carnage out.
Yeah, and we see quite a lot of information gathering by Ladon. They got some of that early information and that aggression from Gemini onto that outside long position, just kind of gave them a lot of control and a lot of ability to do things that maybe would have been a bit more risky otherwise. And just those little plays, those little extra bits of aggression, those bits of extra information. We saw Arkin earlier. He spotted out some feet, knew that there was a terrorist towards one side, so they kind of had a good read on what was going on, and that's going to force VGE to save here, which I think is a decent call.
As you mentioned, in terms of information, Gemini also has just been doing so much work in terms of wasting Venom Gaming's time right now. I mean, they don't have, as you mentioned, outside control whatsoever, and Gemini was still managing not only just to stay alive, but also take the kills and keep pushing them back. So they lost outside control, they lost so much time going into this round already, and then the bodies just kept dropping to the floor, as they say. And unfortunately for Venom Gaming, as you mentioned, all they had a choice to do is save the 2 guns that they were able to. But I mean, Herman is going to go for this early peek. If you can get anything out of it, it could be a quick advantage for Venom Gaming. But it looks like they are playing this a little bit passive. I mean, they do have a little bit of a mixed buy here with a few pistols and the 2, now 3 guns that they've managed to accumulate. So
yeah, but what I've noticed about the nuke map is that similar to a map such as, for example, Inferno, where banana control is very important, I think outside long control can also be in this map very, very crucial, because if the CTs take outside long control and they have that control, and they, for example, like Gemini did, pushed up super far, there's pretty much only a couple of places where the Ts could be, and that narrows down the spots a lot. That's actually very, very important. So outside long control, that's a crucial part.
I'm not too sure. I mean, obviously with outside control, you can have access to secret, but at the end of the day, the outside control doesn't actually allow them into a site. The CTs can still fall back and watch those points of entry, as Arkin is doing right now. He is going to be watching Heaven, so he's going. The Venom Gaming guys are going to be walking straight into his crosses. Unfortunately, that's bomb drop for them. And again, even though they got that ramp control, they couldn't really capitalize off of it. The Ladon guys were able just to fall back and just hold those points of entries. Havoc does get a nice headshot there onto Arkin, but now it's only left onto Hammond. He does have the AWP, is going to get the first kill onto Inspector. Now it's 1v1. But Gemini with that headshot. Unfortunately, the molly blocks him from saving the AWP there, but I mean, very, very well played there to Ladon. Again, just these trades, and I feel like it comes down to individual plays at this point. Especially when you look at the 1v1s. I mean, Ladon has just been putting out all the shots tonight. But if you want to talk about outside control, I think for Venom Gaming, it hasn't been as impactful because they haven't been able to capitalize outside control almost at all. I don't think they've managed to get into secret unscathed because of the utility management of Ladon. So I think as long as you cover that secret entry, you can pretty much give away outside control.
Well, I mean, the reason I talk about outside control is because when we saw VGE versus Bravado, there was some very interesting utilization of that ability to just kind of be in a lot of places at once, and if for example the T's managed to take down whoever's holding the outside long position, it's not just secret they get access to. They could wrap around, they could go into heaven, they could do the flanking. There's a little bit more positions to play with. They can kind of almost surround the CTs in a sense and flank from all sides, so it's a little bit of that advantage of not just being able to set up or whatever, but being able to be in a lot of places, and actually throw the CTs off a little, because the whole idea of being a CT is to hold the angle that somebody's going to be coming from, and if there's more angles than you're expecting, then the terrorists have that advantage.
I mean, speaking about advantages, Bullock right now has just taken the advantage into Ladon's favor. Is going to get himself a nice 2k there with Inspector quickly following up. With the bomb being down for Xylem here, he does have a chance at winning this 1v1. Is going to peek it out, but is not going to win the fight with Bullock. And even with another player just waiting and holding that defuse, unfortunately for him, that is going to mean an 8-1 scoreline in favor of Ladon right now. So, I mean, in terms of what you were saying about the outside control, I understand, trying to juke your team, your enemy teams basically, and getting a little bit of a wrap, maybe going into heaven, and I think it can pan out if you've got the numbers advantage basically. But if the CTs give you that numbers advantage and they hold those choke points, especially on a map like Nuke where the choke points that we do mention, they are so tight knit. And to put one player there, even if you have the advantage, 2 players there, I mean, whoever's going to come through is going to have a bit of a problem there. I don't know. In terms of what Ladon and Venom Gaming have been doing, what do you think Venom needs to do if they want to catch Ladon out in this case?
Well, right now what we've been seeing is Ladon, like you said, they have a little bit of these individual plays that have been coming out, not necessarily winning entirely in setups or just with strategy, but just the individual plays that come out have really been clutching things up, like we mentioned, Bullock got a nice 2k there, and I mean, if in any situation, pretty much, if you're getting 2 kills and not even being traded out for it, that's already a huge advantage. So I think one of the things that VGE need to be doing is looking for some picks that they can overwhelm a site with numbers.
I think Ladon's also just got the confidence at this point. You saw Bullock there completely pushed up there with the smoke. So I mean, he got a lot of information, a lot of time for his team right now. So even with Venom Gaming now going in for this, Inspector is going to have a complete line of sight to both of the players and the bomb. So I mean, Venom Gaming is not going to be at that disadvantage again, because Ladon is taking this aggression and they're countering it. And they're countering Venom Gaming's aggression perfectly. Arkan is going to get that kill onto Xylem with Gemini following up. And again, clean sweeps for Ladon. I mean, in terms of the guns dropped, I mean, we only had Bullock fold there. And it's because he was playing that aggressive angle to get that early information so that he could, give the information to his team and this team could rotate appropriately. So for Venom, I feel like obviously it's not their turn to be on CT right now, but Ladon is just, I guess, getting so much information that it doesn't matter where their numbers were initially at the start of the round.
Yeah, and we've been seeing that a lot, actually. Ladon have been really doing a lot with the information gathering. They get that crucial bit of information, and that actually unlocks the players' individual performance. We were talking about their individual performance, but it's a lot of the information plays that allow those individual performances to come out.
Sorry to interrupt you, but Havoc getting a very, very neat 2k there with the D-goal, but Sonic's following it up with his own 2k. But again, that individual performance we were talking about, I mean, it's not like Venom Gaming isn't hitting the shots. I feel like they just don't have right now the information to capitalize of it as a team.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
I mean,
that is what it seems to be coming down to.
Ooh, Carnage is going to not catching Inspector out, and Bullock following up with his own kill there. Now only Herman left to get the bomb down and maybe do a bit of damage, maybe save a gun with his little Juan that he's got in his hand right now. Nothing much he can do at this round. maybe
Yeah,
get a
we weren't
kill.
expecting them to do very much, though. You know, they only had deagles, so it's not like they were definitely going to win the round. You know, there was a chance, of course, but, you know, with the weapons advantage, it's very, very difficult to do that. It's very difficult, you know, sure, there was a couple of 1-deags, but ultimately, the economic damage is kind of what you're going for in a round like that. But it is 10 rounds to 1, so this half is looking very, very dominant from Ladon. So, you know, right now I'm looking for just a couple more rounds from VGE to kind of make the second half a little bit easier for them. Ooh.
Oh, Bullock getting that initial pick there on Sophia, and already got that information. So Sonics is going to rotate off just to help him a bit, and I think with a little bit of advantage, Bullock can actually wrap around to Secret and take a bit of outside control there, but is going to opt just to keep that ramp, you know, that ramp control, and Sonics is going to instead rather rotate outside to watch, as you were saying, that outside control a little bit. We do see the nade on the door that you love to talk about so much, and it does seem like Venom Gaming is going to go for this A take. We see a little bit of utility coming out. They're still holding to see if they can get these picks. With the flashes coming out, Arkin is going to take Xylem out, and oh, so much damage traded. Carnage barely makes it out of the smoke. Is going to get traded by Arkin.
Oh.
And Inspector,
that timing shot through the smoke. But yeah, this is exactly what I was talking about when you said I love to mention this little play through the door towards vents. When I talk about that play, I always say that utility is the big thing, and we saw a smoke go out into mouth, but we didn't see one smoking out the position just, you know, from the door to the vents, and that allowed the CTs to use perfect counter utility, throw in 2 mollies to block the entrance, and that forced the Ts to either pull back or go forward. And of course, it doesn't matter at which case you do, because you fall back, there's a molly, you go forward, there's a gun. So, you know, it just comes down to that utility usage at the end of the day. And it actually goes even further, because it came down to that information right in the beginning of the round where there was that pick from Havoc, I think it was. Or Herman.
no, exactly that. And I mean, you can see Venom Gaming's already fixed the first mistake with the smokes. They've managed to close that gap. Bullock is actually going to be here. He's going to get caught up by Carnage. And Gemini, unfortunately, does get 1 kill for Ladon, but is going to get traded out by Fear. And Sonics, been so powerful with this AWP, is going to take Fear down, with Arkin getting his own kill. And now we've already got a 2v3, with the 3 being 3 Ladon players waiting to take this bomb site back from Venom Gaming. The bomb is not even down. They still got a minute to work with. So, I mean, Venom Gaming have the time right now, but they've already got all these Ladon players.
Because,
I mean, they've got time, but they don't have they don't have players.
They started this round off quite nicely. You know, they broke into the site so well, and it just you know, the individual performance from Ladon just kind of stopped it.
Not just the individual performance, but I mean the team play. We just saw now that Sonics, you know, fell back as soon as, I think it was Fear, it was, or Xylem probably, that was trying to take the kills there and trying to take these peaks. He did manage to get a 1v1 and get the kill, but you know, with Sonics just backing off, letting his teammate flank and get the kill, rather, to make sure that they take that AWP into the next round. I mean, that's the kind of team play that you need, especially on a map like Nuke, which is actually really easy to kind of confuse your enemy on with the sound cues.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I mean, for Venom Gaming right now, as you mentioned, they did so well to get into to Secret there, but they just couldn't capitalize it off it again, because Ladon are just ready and waiting. And again, we've got this aggressive play by Bullock and Gemini on the ramp. It does seem like they're going to wait for the smoke, and they are going to push, are going to catch Carnage out by himself. And again, that number advantage already in favor of Ladon. Fear just getting a little bit, I was going to say getting a little tagged there by Inspector, but Inspector is going to take the kill. And now we've got 3 players on that outside control, as you were mentioning earlier. So I mean, if they can get this, as what you were mentioning, they should be able to get the round. Havoc is going to take Arkin out though, and already Bullock and Sonics already and waiting. I say that, but Havoc is getting headshots galore, is going to take Bullock out, and now has an idea of where the last player should be. I think they should have heard that scope. But, I mean, Sonics is doing a very good job of hiding here. Havoc is going to go for the hunt. He's going to catch Sonics out, because Sonics is not going to be looking at the right place.
Yeah, I
And
went
now
for the
Inspector.
no-scope there, but it doesn't hit. Gemini left alone in a 1v3 now.
I was just about to say Inspector was taking that time to see if he can maybe get a kill on the flank there, but no cigar, unfortunately. And Havoc, I don't know if he's going to be expecting Gemini in this position. He is watching that rafters there. So if Havoc moves a little bit to the left,
timing just so close, but it doesn't work out. That's the kind of round that you want to see from VGE, but I have to ask the question, is it a little too late? It's round 15 already, and we're going in towards the second half, and it's 12-2.
I mean, you never know. Some teams are, they obviously do better on their sides. I mean, I want to say T is very strategy based, but also CT is also extremely strategy based. But I mean, if you're a team that struggle with executions onto site, then normally a counter-terrorist position is your bread and butter to get those rounds back. So I mean, for Venom Gaming right now, all they can hope for is to get this last round and then just play a very, very solid CT side. But Sonic's, talking about solid CT sides, is going to take Havoc down, which, I mean, for the last round there, Havoc was the reason that you could say that Venom Gaming won that round. So that's going to be a big punish for them. They still got 4 players. They still got 4 players ready and willing to get this last round. Smokes are going to come out, and they are going to be going in for the secret control. Arkan is actually not going to be peeking this, so isn't going to get the cross.
Ooh.
Is going to manage to get Carnage out, though. And our Herman's just left outside.
Yeah, he's kind of stuck out here, because the smoke is about to fade, so he really has to be careful here.
He honestly just has to play the flank at this point, and Gemini is going to get caught out with his back facing the enemy. Arkan actually manages to jump out of vents and catch 2 players down, and now Herman left in a 1v3 with, I mean, no control over bomb, no control over the numbers or information about where the players could be at this point.
Yeah, and I mean, the flanking play didn't even come in. The CTs are just so responsive in the right places. They're exactly where they needed to be. And with that clutch play from Vents, like you said, getting that quick jump out of Vents at the 2K, that just shut everything down. And now Harman is kind of left here alone, has to see what they can do. This is definitely going to be difficult, and that's going to be Inspector taking down Harman. That's going to be 13-2 for the half as we switch over. And like you were saying, if you struggle a little bit on this map with those utility executes, maybe see a CT side a little bit better. So hopefully VGE come into this half with a bit of renewed hope and try and do something here, get their score back.
Exactly that. I'm hoping that Venom Gaming can go into this round with a little bit more. I kind of want to say just kind of forget the last half and let's just get the rest of these rounds. You kind of just have to forget about that when you're dealing with a scoreline as it is 13-2 right now for Ladon. I mean, all that can do is just bring you down, man. So you have to go into this half just energized and kind of forgetful about what happened the first half. Who gave you a headshot? Who shot you in the back? Whatever happened, you gotta forget about it. Gotta move into this next half, and hopefully now for Venom Gaming, they are going to be able to hold this defense well, because they do need the rounds. I mean, I've seen them come back from worse. So I don't think that it's impossible. But I mean, Ladon have been so dominating right now. They've been playing every game and making every decision correctly and as a team, and just so coordinated that I struggle to see what Venom Gaming can do to kind of change that momentum that they've got right now.
Yeah, well, like you were talking about, you kind of just have to do a bit of a mental reset. CSGO is ultimately, among other things, a very mind-gamey sort of game. And it is one of the big responsibilities of an IGL or just teammates in general to kind of hype up or keep your team in good spirits. And even when you're down 13-2 like this, you have to get that mental reset almost, just to come into this half like afresh, with that new mental strength, I guess. Like you said, we have seen comebacks far greater than this one, or comebacks such as this one before, so it's not impossible. But the scoreline can definitely get you down, and it's very important to kind of shrug it off and just kind of keep moving and do your best.
I mean, Venom Gaming are playing this quite well. They're taking their timeouts. They're talking about it and talking about what they can do. And I'm happy to see that they're calling this timeout right now before the first round even starts, because they know that this round is important. This round is going to make or break not only their economy, but also the confidence, as we mentioned, going into this the last half of the first map that we've got. And I mean, I'm hoping now Venom Gaming are going to pull out some insane shots. we do see that Ladon is playing just a little bit of a default setup here. You know, they know exactly how important this round is for Venom, so they want to see, you know, make sure that they're not getting caught out of guard when Venom Gaming might try and pull something a little bit ridiculous. So with that being said, the utility is going to come raining down on this A side. So they are going to take this A execute with them going in. Carnage getting the first shot onto Arkan. Bullock and Sonics following up with their own two. And now we've already got the bomb down for Ladon. Zalem is going to take a cheeky peeky here. And unfortunately is going to get taken out by Gemini. So now we've only got Herman and Fear in this 2v4 right now. But I mean, they've got the position. I don't know if Ladon is going to be expecting Fear on this this heaven point. Gemini is definitely going to be caught out if Fear peeks right now. He's not looking at the right position. And oh my goodness, gets taken out by Fear. So now we've already got 3 players just waiting. Herman's got the information that one player is in Squeaky. And
Fear
Fear's
could be
gonna
tapping these heads. Ooh, just can't manage it.
Those Glocks. And now Herman in a 1v1 against Inspector. But Inspector's playing the time.
And
Is playing the
gonna get taken
position
down.
and is playing the headshot game and is going to take Herman out. And that was a good round for Venom Gaming in terms of individual players. But again,
I'm going to go as far as to say that's going to be game. I'm going to take that foot out. I'm going to say that's game because, you know, like you said, that round was super, super important. And Lane just proved that they know their executes, they know what they need to do, and they know how to shut stuff down. And yes, it was only the pistol round, but, I mean, that pistol round's given Aladdin access to SMGs, and that's going to mean that they get at least one round after this. I mean, there's almost no conceivable way that VGE win this with pistols, right?
I mean, you never know. But as it seems like Ladon's already got all 5 players going down secret, rushing this B site with the Mackie 10s, and Venom Gaming have to be a little bit scared. Sonics and Arkan are going to chime in and get the first kills of the round, with Inspector following shortly,
Corvus.
and Arkan taking what's that? The second Corvus
That
of the
is
night?
the second Corvus of the night, yes.
And I don't want to say game, but unfortunately for Herman, I don't think this round is going to be easy.
Yeah, look, I mean,
He's already got Inspector waiting for him. If it's Vincent is going to take him down. So, I mean, that's already match points. And if it wasn't hard enough on Venom to begin with, it is certainly extremely hard for them now.
yeah, well, they can buy into this round, so this is kind of the make or break it round. You know, they have to win this one. There's no choice. They have no option. So, you know, there is a bit of a chance that obviously they're on the SMG still with the 1 AK picked up, so there's a chance, you know, Venom are not out of this one, down and out, but, like, they have to win this round. There's no choice.
No, absolutely. I mean, they do have the guns. They've got the guns, but in terms of utility, and diffuse kit, they've only got 1 diffuse kit. They've at least all got head armor, but you have to wonder if it's going to be enough to take against Ladon, because they've been extremely well coordinated.
Yeah,
and again, we see the exact
super
same.
important, yeah. Spots
Exactly,
that
and
one.
we see. Oh.
That's close. Super, super close. Hanuman's able to get Arkan. Actually gets a third. Doesn't convert though. Oh, sorry. Almost gets a third there. Sonic's able to take down. Actually, no. Sonic's alone.
And Venom Gaming are actually going to get the retake.
Yeah, they do get that round. They eventually managed to win the buy round. Like I said, you know, that it is definitely possible with the full weapons against the Mac 10s. You can maybe play a little bit of longer angles. So yeah, they got the round they needed, but I mean, that was the do or die round. They did lose 3 players, so they are still in a bit of a shaky position here, and obviously Ladon, they're going to be able to buy up no issues. So it's still down to the wire. Still Venom going to have to be winning a lot, you know, 15-3. There's a big tall order that you need to fill right now if you want to even dream of staying in this map.
It's exactly that, and we are going to go into this 19th round. Although, I mean, with you know, with that last round, Venom Gaming had the gun advantage. So, I mean, for them it was a little bit easier to get the kills. Now they're going to have to now go up against all these AKs. Herman is going to get a little bit of early damage there, and that Molly is going to take Arkan down to 14 HP. Oh,
Ooh, this could be so damaging, but Inspector's actually super aware of that angle. That's some good awareness from Inspector there, just to peek through that one. T's have access to B site now, so
I don't think they were expecting Fear on that position though.
They get caught out by that
with the He's gonna get 3 kills now with the ump. Has still not been taken care of, and inspectors should know where he
Ooh,
is.
and that's the
They
feet
should
spotted out as
be fine.
well.
And
Fear, so
I
much
mean-
work in that round. Wow.
Fear and an ump, I guess. That's all we need to give him, ladies and gents.
Be
We just need to
fearful
give
of
him
the
an
ump.
Very well played there to Venom. I mean, that's what we need to see. Unfortunately, they need to kind of just pull out these individual plays and get the kills. I mean, we've seen them do it before. Havoc did insane work that one round on T, getting a 4K and managing to get Venom Gaming into sight. But they're going to have to do a lot more if they want to have any chance of winning this game. And we do see that famous execute you love so much early onto the A side. Xylem just doing so much damage. Is going to take 2 players down, including the bomb, but still 3 players left to plant the bomb. And with a bit of extra utility. Fear coming back down with this ump, though. He nearly catches the players off, but that Marley was just at the right place at the right time. Now, Herman, I don't know if he's going to be if he's going to be expecting Inspector here. Is playing the close angle with that Max 10, and Gemini and Sonics have the guns, and they're watching all the angles needed. Carnage is actually going to take Sonics out, make that Gemini as well, and now just the 1v1 as we were talking about Inspector and Herman going down. Herman is going to take Inspector down, and we do see the 5th round finally there for Venom Gaming. So, I mean, they're doing it.
Yeah, that's encouraging. That's definitely encouraging, but there's a big tall order now that is resting on Venom's shoulders. They have to win rounds like that, and they have to keep winning rounds like that, because in order to get to overtime, Venom have to win every single round for the next 10 rounds to match this one up, to get it to 15-15 and go to overtime. And that's pretty much their only choice, their only chance to be able to get into the map. So, they have shown us they can do it. Obviously, Ladon, they're on a save now. They have pistols, so it's possible. It's definitely in the realm of possibility. But of course, the economy will eventually come to Ladon. It's going to come. That's how lost bonus works. So it'll eventually get there, and they're going to have a buy round again.
Carnage and Fear need to take down all of these Ladon players now. But
Gemini
so
actually
perfect.
catches him
What?
out. That's incredible.
That should have been Venom Gaming's position there. I mean, they had the 2 players ready, and going up against Pistol, those should have been easy kills. But either way, we do see Ladon picking up 2 guns now,
I just thought.
Yeah, and that.
I don't think Gemini really needs it with his deal. But anyway, that being said, he does have an AWP, and they do have time and the numbers. So now, Herman and Havoc are going to have to clutch this out if they want to keep their team in this map.
Yeah, absolutely. And that all started with that flashbang. That flashbang was just so crucial and devastating because that blinded everyone. That allowed Ladon to just get some crazy kills, and Gemini just skipped past them all.
And now Havoc is left alone. His position has been compromised. It's going to take 2 players out, and that's the AWP. That was Ladon's easiest shot at getting Havoc down. He is rushing down on these last 2 players, but Inspector again playing this angle. Is going to get the kill for Ladon, and that's going to be 16-5 in favor of Ladon. And I mean, very well played there to the Venom Gaming guys. They did put up a fight there on the CT side. I wonder if it would have been different if they did start out on the CT side, though.
Yeah, absolutely. It is definitely a question. They were looking a lot stronger on the CT side, but I mean that's the I guess that's just the price you kind of have to pay. In terms of, when getting knife rounds and choosing sides and choosing maps and whatnot, it comes down to how you play certain sides and, the advantages you can have off of that. We'll always ask the question, oh, what if? But I mean, that is kind of the point, if VG wanted to get more chance to solidify themselves into this map, they should have been a bit stronger on the T side so that they could have given themselves a bit better chance on the CT side. Even if they didn't win the other half, at least they could go into the second half with a bit more room to wiggle. They went into the half with pretty much no wiggle room, and after losing that crucial round that we talked about, the second pistol round, the first one in the second half at least, that was the round where I just knew it. I called it. I said, listen, this is probably going to be game because they've lost this round. They have to save twice. Now it's almost pretty much guaranteed to be over at this point. So they gave themselves pretty much no wiggle room.
To be fair to Venom Gaming, they did, instead of making it game, they managed to clutch not only that round out, but capitalized on another 2, another 3, and again they were looking stronger. But interestingly enough, Nuke was actually Venom Gaming's pick. So now we are going on to Mirage, which is Ladon's pick. So you have to wonder again. It's that case of, I mean, if you lose that badly on your own pick, what is that going to do to your mentality going into the enemy team's pick? You know?
Yeah, look, well we've spoken about things like this before. You know, some teams, they go into rounds or maps at least, and they lose them that they picked, and then they go into the next map that they didn't pick and they win them. So we've seen weird things happen like that before, so it's definitely not out of the realm of possibility. But, you know, just drawing the attention back to what we were talking about in the previous finals, you know, VGE and Ladon, they've faced off against one another before. Ladon won 2-0, and like you said, you know, you have to start questioning. You have to ask now, with Ladon looking so strong and this being their pick, they've obviously practiced this one a lot. They're obviously comfortable on it. They're confident on it. So, you know, you have to wonder if VG have a chance in this one. You know, have they practiced this map enough to give Ladon a run for their money?
I think Mirage is thankfully quite a fun map. You know, you mentioned that you enjoy watching Dust because it's such an evenly split map. But with Mirage, I feel like it's a little bit more even than Nuke. I feel like Nuke is just a map, you know, designed to throw especially new teams off guard. So Mirage should be, you know, it should be a map that they're all familiar with. I feel like if you want to talk about, you know, Faced It or MM, you know, this is one of the maps that you play quite often.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you should have quite the experience on the map. You know, Nuke is one of those maps that you know, it's one of the ones we don't talk about. But
yeah, it is amongst those maps.
It's amongst those maps that, you know, there's not a lot of players that enjoy them. I personally, you know, Train's one of my favorite maps, and it hurts my heart to hear so many people hate it, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Either way, though, Mirage should be one of those maps that, you know, the team should know either way. So regardless of picks, I'm hoping that Venom Gaming should have a little bit more to show on this map. We don't know yet what sides they're going to be playing, as they will have to knife the sides. But I mean, if Venom Gaming is struggling with their executes, as it seemed to be on Nuke, you know, it might be a different story on Mirage, then maybe they should hope for a CT pick here, and it might translate into a different scoreline. As we mentioned, we popped the question at the end of that Nuke game. So I don't know. I just kind of want to see Venom Gaming pop off as we've seen them done before. They've clearly got the skill. They just need to kind of get the confidence and get the coordination to show off a bit, I'd say.
Yeah, well, I mean, they made it this far, so, you know, they're obviously nothing to laugh at, and so they definitely have the ability. So we could see 3 maps here tonight. It's not, you know, completely out of the realm of possibility. But what I really like to see on this map in particular is a decisive T side and a reactive CT side. You know, a lot of the games that I've watched in this cup and in others is a lot of T-sided teams. When they have that T side, they often play a little bit too slowly. They have like the right idea. You know, they go for a spread out, which is, you know, a viable option. It's a viable strategy. They spread out. They start looking for information. But the one thing they seem not to bridge the gap between is the fact that when you do that spread out setup, when you go for that kind of a play, you actually have to get the information. You actually have to get something off of the back of that, even if, you know, if it's a pick, even if it's a bit of information, just something off the back of that, and then do something with it. And a lot of teams, they get the first part right, but not the second part right. They do the setup, but they don't get the pick. They don't get the information, and they don't play off of it. So what I like to see is I like to see T-side teams getting that information, getting the pick, doing something, and then, you know, taking that and translating it into some sort of a plan. And on the other side, I see a lot of CT sides, you know, they don't really know how to be so reactive when they see a good T-side execute. And, you know, a good thing in response to that is, you know, good counter utility and stuff like that. So that's the kind of stuff that I'm looking for, and we'll see if that happens soon enough.
Now with the knife round now going away, it does seem like, actually it doesn't seem like anything at this point when we come down to a 1v1. Ladon is going to win it out, so Ladon will be able to choose what sides they start on. So again, it does seem like they're going to be starting on CT side, so you have to wonder if Venom Gaming are going to have a fun game right now, because it does seem like they're struggling a little bit with their executes.
Well, I mean, I don't think that the T side is super weak on this map. I do believe that it is considered as a CT-sided map, but I don't think that the T side on this map is impossible. I don't think it's incredibly difficult. You know, if you
No, they
play it
shouldn't be
right, it's
complete-
definitely doable.
Yeah, they shouldn't be completely disadvantaged. As we mentioned, it's one of those maps, that a lot of people know of. And Ladon especially know a lot of it because they are going to be taking this quick lowest control. We did see them do this before, and they should be catching Havoc off guard. Actually are going to manage to get 2 of the players down with, just one trade coming through. Gemini is still going to be able to run out. Just hiding in that little cubby there, so didn't see him there. And that's going to be such an early advantage there for Ladon. Fear, though, and Xylem have already taken the A side, so they're going to get a clean plant out of this. That aggression, though it gave Ladon the advantage there, it didn't give them the position. And now
Yeah, that was...
Venom Gaming actually have done well to translate this.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was a mistake from Ladon or what, but they started off really well. They got that lowest control.
They gave up A control quite a bit, which is interesting. Arkin is going to take Fear out with a little bit of a cheeky peeky there, and now Inspector already tapping the bomb with the defuse.
Ooh, diffuser goes down, but that's definitely going to be enough. Still a diffuser kit on Arkin, so not an issue. And round 1 for Ladon.
We've been talking a lot about what Venom Gaming have been doing wrong, but let's talk about something that they're doing right. They are supporting Chalk South Africa in this this charity cup that we have running. And just for those of you who don't know, Chalk basically aims to save the lives through early detection and making the journey of those who are affected by childhood cancer less burdensome through the comprehensive support programs that they offer. Obviously, the money raised tonight will help offer that kind of level of support. So please go check them out at chalk.org.za. And now, with these pistols, we've seen these pistol rounds be extremely confusing, but I say that Inspector is going to take down 2 players, is not going to get traded out. Not only that, but Ladon has just captured the bomb.
Yeah, and this is interesting because I've noticed that Ladon, they like to take a very quick lowers control, and they even sent 2 players that way this round, and I actually really like that. Gemini going to get a beautiful spray through the smoke there. That's going to pretty much end the round right there. And yeah, that was pretty much all off the back of that lowers play from Ladon. I really like that. I think that's a very strong play to pull off.
Now Venom Gaming are stuck in middle fighting the sniper's control, but I was going to say that Ladon have a perfect opportunity to flank right now, but I think they are getting a little bit of sound cues here that the Venom Gaming guys are running back, so they are instead going to fall back and just hold this crossfire. This pop flash might come out and is going to catch Carnage. Not of God, as he looks away just in time, is going to take down Gemini, but Inspector there for the trade, and Xylem getting taken out there by, we talk about the umps that apparently are very scary, and with that we've got Ladon on their 2-0 already.
Scary umps. Yeah, look, that wasn't super crazy to see. Pistols usually very difficult to utilize them properly, especially against a team that knows what they're doing and full weaponry. So that's not too super surprising. 2-0. It's the chance for Venom to get something back here. They have the AWP, they have the AKs, they have some utility, so they have the chance to do something now. And they have to be aware of the quick aggression that we've been seeing coming out from Ladon. So they are playing a little bit slowly. They are spread out, waiting for something to happen. I hope.
I'm actually curious, Herman, we've seen him be so explosive with that AWP. Ooh, Xylem taking so much damage there, is going to get taken out by those SMGs, but, we've seen Herman be so explosive with that AWP, especially, I think, against BVD Finesse last time. He managed to make openings where, his team couldn't, and he's actually, for the last 2 maps, been playing it quite passively.
Yeah.
Interesting enough. Like, he hasn't taken, we just saw it now, he had that mid-peak, ability because he had the spawn, but he instead just sat top of mid, just watching that no one is pushing him. He's playing it quite passively. Granted, he's not being supported as Bullock is right now by his teammate Gemini to put Carnage now on 18 HP. Herman is going to rotate. It does seem like they're opting for a little bit of a, an A distraction here as the bomb is towards the apps right now. I think they don't have enough picks to really confidently take a site, so they are instead just going to be. Ooh, we do see a timeout there, but unfortunately damage has already been done, so the round won't be reset. However, Herman and Fear now left to clutch this out for their team in a 2v5. Unfortunately, that timeout did take one of their alive players, and the time's already ticking down, so nothing
Yeah.
really that they can do.
Yeah, that's pretty unfortunate, and I just want to draw attention to what you were talking about earlier. About Herman just doing quite a lot of work in previous games with the AWP, and now not seeming to do so much. And I'm wondering if that's maybe because have they perhaps seen how Ladon play, and they may be too aware, and Herman not so confident to take the fight. I don't know. Do you think it's a lack of confidence or something else?
We spoke about them needing to give Ladon the respect that Ladon deserves. But
is that enough? Like, do you give them so much respect that you just don't even bother to try and take the fights even
that's
once?
The thing. I'm struggling to understand if this is just pure respect, or if this is just a lack of confidence coming out now from the Venom Gaming guys. As we mentioned, they've already played against Ladon. They know exactly what Ladon are capable of, and that is taking them down 2-0. So, I mean, going into this match, obviously you're going to be at a disadvantage. Herman is going to just take a peek there into Connector, but again, playing so passively that he's sitting at that, that obvious angle is going to just get basically pre-fired there by Arkan and, Arkan, sorry. So, I mean, again, there's just no space being open for the Venom Game guys, and, I mean, they're re-peeking this AWPer, so now Carnage is going to get taken out because they're obviously trying to get that AWP. So, Arkan is just getting basically target practice at top of mid here. Is already sitting on 2 kills and is gonna be taking some more peeks
finally
there.
Arkan goes down. But I think maybe that's what VGE are kind of scared of. They've seen some of the plays, maybe Arkan just doing some serious havoc going down with the AWP, and maybe that's what they're scared of. They've seen it before and they're kind of afraid. They don't want to really get that same stuff going again.
That's exactly that, but I don't know.
Fear actually going to turn around and get one. Almost gets taken down by Molly, but will be taken down by Inspector instead. Xylem, the last one left alive. 51 HP and an AWP. Nothing much else to do.
Not just that, but his team really doesn't have money to go into this next round. I mean, he... As much as I want to say go for it, you never know what kind of no-scopes he can pull out, but at this point, what more can you do for your team? You kind of want to just say that, or maybe see if you can create space with it next round. But that is going to depend on if these players can start being as explosive as we know that they can be. I mean, we've seen Carnage take insane entries. We've seen Havoc do some crazy stuff. Almost every single player of this team do some crazy things. And now, I mean, these rounds are just going so quietly down to the side of Ladon. So
yeah,
you have to wonder, are they already mentally a little
defeated?
I don't want to say defeated. I'm just going to say
that's what
shaky.
It feels like. It feels like in their minds they've already lost.
No, I'm hoping that's not the case, but if it is, Venom Gaming either need to call the timeouts or they need to go and stand up and take a breather, because they need to get that mentality out of their head. As we talk about it, Venom Gaming is going to take this B take, is going to manage to get through the smoke.
Do so much damage, and Inspector's just going to be able to capitalize on all of it.
He does eventually go down to Herman, but they're not going to expect Arkan on the cat. The bait and switch has worked, and now already all the Ladon players are here for the retake. Havoc is already down to 13 HP. It is going to just get USP'd out of the server and out of the round. And I mean, with that being said, such a... I don't know, just again, Ladon are just so good with their user control and so good with their rotations. I mean, you see the players, except for the first round, but we won't talk about that. You see the players exactly where they need to be at the exact time. So, I mean, with that said, I mean, Venom Gaming already down to 5-0, but they do now have the guns. I'm curious to see, obviously Herman doesn't really have the spawn here, but I mean, Sonics does, and he's going to take down Carnage. With Gemini being extremely aggressive, he's going to take this top mid, but Herman is there to take it down, and now Arkan and Sonics holding this mid control still quite aggressive. We see Arkan slowly but surely moving up, might be trying to catch them off guard. We see the pop flash coming out. It's not going to catch anyone off though, but Havoc is going to get blinded by a teammate's flash, and now just Herman left top mid in here for Venom is going to be taking Arkan out, but still you've got a bit of a AWP 1v1. I don't know if Sonics is going to be expecting Xylem to spray through the smoke. There's actually going to manage to get Herman and get out with his life and his AWP. So again, no trades happening here. And the AWP in middle from the side of Ladon, whether it be Arkan or Sonics, is just doing so much damage. Inspector sitting on this this little corner here. I don't think VG is going to check it, and they're not, but Zalem is going to get the trade, so he's got an open bomb site. Sort of,
50
if we
seconds
ignore.
as well. Oh, and actually takes down Sonics. That's going to make it a 1v1. 40 seconds left on the clock. Has the chance to rotate here. So Bullock might just be caught out. Does Bullock sniff this one out? Going slowly onto site, but this... Not seeing Xylem on here has to be the information. How long does it take him to realize?
I kind of want to say deja vu here. I feel like we've been in this situation so many times.
Yeah, Bullock knows for sure now.
Not exactly that, but Xylem, thankfully for him, he is going to get the time to get into a better position. He's already sitting on a nice little 2k all headshots behind you. So I mean, he's feeling warmed up, he's feeling ready. So it's just going to depend on how he's going to play this, because he does know that Bullock needs to both get the kill and get the defuse.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm hoping this is a little bit of a mental boost for Venom, because you know this is actually a pretty decent round. This didn't go too badly. Venom pulling it out, so.
He's taking so much aggression, but he's playing this quite well.
Oh,
hiding when he needs to, and is going to get the round win there for Venom. So I mean, that's exactly what you said. I'm hoping that Venom are going to take this and just use this as a mentality boost right now, because they need it. They need to kind of energize themselves a little bit, you know, and to just take these rounds and be as explosive as we know that they can be.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, just from the performance right there, we saw they can do it. You know, it's not impossible. It's definitely doable. It's not like they lack any sort of skill or anything like that. They just need to get that confidence going and decisive.
Speaking about confidence, Bullock taking that early ramp aggression through the molly, taking the head out of Xylem there, and Xylem is going to need a grandpa later, but he is going to be leaving Venom Gaming in a 4v5, and Bullock is still just going for this. He's taking the palace control. Herman is going to be there to stop him though, but I mean, still so much. You can see the confidence from Ladon just sitting there,
yeah. And they have that
taking so much control. Venom Gaming actually are still going to be opting for this A side take. I mean, with Gemini just spraying through Palace, Carnage getting a nice shot there onto Ark, and they've made quite a bit of space for themselves. They are going to manage to get the bomb down now, but still, Gemini already in that sandwich position is going to take down Carnage, eventually gets traded out, and now Inspector on the flank. Havoc doing a lot of work himself.
Nice. Fear.
Havoc and Fear.
That was
duo.
Good. That was good. That's another round. That's 5-2, and that's actually, you know, they're closing in slowly. Venom is slowly getting their way back. They've put 2 rounds on the board now, so they only have 3 to go if they want to equalize. And Ladon are going to be on a save round here. And I'm hoping that this, like we said, is giving them a little bit of a mental boost. You know, they can do it. It's not, you know, it's not impossible. This is definitely doable. They've showed up, and let's hope they continue to do so.
Exactly that. I'm actually curious to see, you know, what the viewers think about this game. I want to know in the chats who are you guys supporting? Are you supporting Ladon or are you supporting Venom Gaming Endeavour here?
Or perhaps a better question, do we go to a map 3?
Oh, do we? Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. Either way, both of these teams are fighting on the server right now for the charity of their choice. So whoever wins tonight, I think we're all going to be happy to know that a charity will be benefiting from this. And some good CS coming from both of these teams. So,
yeah, absolutely.
I mean, now we finally see a little bit of a different play finally coming out of Venom. They are going to manage to get this boost, and they are going to get 2 players going to jungle here now. But Arkan is sitting, and Sonic's getting a lovely headshot there onto Xylem, and that's actually the bomb. So, I mean, even with Venom Gaming now getting ace side control, they don't have bomb. And Sonic's still going on, is going to manage to take out Carnage.
That's a big mistake.
I mean, not only the gun advantage right now, but they've got the bomb. They have the bomb, and they're wasting so much of Venom Gaming's time. Fear is going to go on the flank, is going to take out Bullock. He's not, I don't know if he's going to expect Gemini. Gemini are doing so much work with that CZ right now, and Herman just creeping in is going to take Sonics out, and now we've got a 2v2 quite evenly. Inspector on the flank of Herman. Herman is not going to expect this. He actually misses the shot, and Herman gets away with 5 HP now.
Oh, Gemini runs out of bullets.
Oh, and now 1v1, Inspector and Havoc. I feel like we've seen this quite a few times. Inspector down to 65 HP and actually manages to clutch it out for Ladon. What?
Nuts! He's just absolutely playing that corner
These
like
deagles.
a boss.
These deagles. I
6
swear,
rounds.
these pistol rounds. I can't. My heart can't handle these pistol rounds.
Yeah, that
By the way,
was
though,
that was incredible.
that's gonna be a big knock for Venom Gaming, though. I mean, I was
Yeah.
gonna say even if they won that round, they shouldn't have lost the numbers that they did. But
Yeah, that came down to the mistake they made by leaving the bomb and just kind of leaving it all alone.
they didn't even leave the bomb alone. It was in the hands of a play that Sonic just took out. Very well played there by Sonic, getting so many beautiful shots there. I mean, he not only found the bomb, but he kept finding kills for his team. And now Venom Gaming going to be on a pistol round of their own. So they have the Deagles and the CZs. Maybe they can get a little bit of revenge back onto Ladon for what Ladon just did. Either way, though, they're playing this quite carefully and quite quietly towards what it seems like the B-side take. We do have one player just lurking here in the Chance of Carnage, just maybe trying to get a little bit of a position out of Ladon right now, but it does look like Venom Gaming is going to take this B-Tech.
Yeah, they're
A lot
going to
of
be
damage
rushing
being
through
done.
here. Pistols having to do so much work, and it's just not going to come through. That's going to be so easy for the M4s, and quick headshots coming out from Ladon. 7-2 VGE. They can buy into this one. They have to decide what they want to do. AKs are going to come out. AWP going to come out. But I mean, Ladon winning that pistol round was just everything, right, in this half, pretty much.
No, exactly that. But I mean, Venom Gaming were just going up against a disadvantage there, so they are going to be able to buy up this round. Got a few AKs again. Got the open in the hands of Herman. I'm hoping I can see him do a little bit of what I know he's capable of doing. So he needs to create space for his team so that they can get into the site relatively unscathed. Because at this point, even if they're getting onto the site, they're either losing bomb at the back line, or they're just losing too many players to capitalize off of it. Ooh, this mid control, the smoke coming in, just doing a little bit of a peek there.
Bullock got quite aggressive on this A side, checking both main and in Palace. But as I'm thinking about that now, I wonder, have we even seen a full utility execute from Venom onto the A side? I don't think we have.
We've seen a half utility execute.
Yeah, that doesn't satisfy me. I don't want to see a half utility execute. Come on, I want to see full utility execute.
We've seen like 2 smokes.
The one thing that a lot of players kind of toss out the basket a little bit too early, I think, is the generic executes onto site. Like, at least give it a shot once and see how it works, and maybe it'll work out.
Oh, you want to talk about giving a shot? Arkan just gave a couple of shots into Venom Gaming's backsides, and he is again going to be taking down the bomb, and Bullock is just going to chime in with his own kill, taking down Havoc, and now again 2v5, and Herman just taking down Arkan on the flank. But I mean, Sonic just watching this ramp patrol with his own AWP actually does take down a little bit of damage, but now Herman just left in a 1v4, and Bullock is so close. The flash is right there. He can push in at any time, and Herman is going to be caught off guard. He's actually going to get the kill onto Bullock, but I mean, with 7 seconds left, he doesn't have much to do. It's still going on and takes down Sonic, not 2v1.
So close.
At this point, just stay alive. You've done so much work, please.
That actually does manage to stay alive there. Herman takes the AWP into the next round. So,
there, bro.
Good stuff from Herman V. Terrace timeout is going to come through, and I think this is definitely what they need. They need to be discussing how they're going to use their utility. But, like I said, I haven't seen a full A execute, and sometimes, they play it off too quickly. Sometimes you just have to try it out and see what happens.
Yeah, good old faithful A execute.
Yeah.
But as I mentioned, Herman, you've just seen how explosive Herman can be. I mean, you saw the shots that he can take.
Yeah.
He's obviously capable of it. I just don't know why he's being so quiet in those early rounds. I mean, he needs to be taking these early peaks and kind of just being I don't know, just a Hail Mary on the side of Venom Gaming.
Yeah, I think what you've been saying is pretty accurate. Like, we saw a lot of explosiveness from VGE, and that's kind of what gave them quite a bit of an edge in their previous games. Being able to just be that explosive team, just get things done, quickly, and allow the players to kind of do their thing. And like you said, we've been seeing a little bit quietness from them, not really so much of that explosiveness that we're used to.
explosiveness right, and I mean Ladon is just doing their own interpretation of explosiveness, already taking 2 players down. And now Venom Gaming again, just they're not
the bomb. Look at the
replying
bomb.
to this aggression. Again, bomb is down and in the hands of Ladon, and Venom Gaming haven't been able to counter this aggression. I mean, yes, you lose 2 players, but then how do you counter it? You need to reply to it. You need to, get 2 kills of your own to make up the even grounds. And Fear just walking back into the sights there of Arkan. Though he gets traded out, Sonics does again there just to take down the headshots, and Herman again left in a 1v4. I mean, even if you get the 2 kills and the 2 Ladon players here sitting on the bomb, so much time has been wasted. Venom Gaming just aren't replying to Ladon's aggression here. Bullock is actually going to be looking at the wrong place at
So
the wrong
quick.
time, and Herman with this quick shots again. He has the capability. He just needs to hold this confidence and take it into early round, peaks kind of. Your AWP needs to be dynamic, and your AWP needs to take those early fights and open space up, for your team. I mean, those early peaks are exactly, what we contributed to Bravado's explosiveness when they played against Venom Gaming. They were able just to capitalize off those early peaks, and those ultimately, though they didn't win the match, they won quite a few rounds, which right now is what Venom Gaming need to do. So I mean, again, this pistol round, and Sonics actually is going to take quite a bit of damage from that deagle, but nothing that capitalizes into a kill. Either way, though, just such slow plays now coming from Venom Gaming. They are playing this quite passively, just seeing if they can get a kill, maybe get a gun.
Yeah, I mean, this definitely comes down to what I said right in the beginning when we started this map, and it's the spread out setups are definitely viable strategies, at times, but if you're not getting what you want out of them, I think it is time to switch it up. You can't do those spread out setups forever, and a lot of teams seem to favor doing that. They seem to do that setup, like playing for information, playing for picks. But what we've seen is that Ladon, they're quite happy to counter that, because if one of their players goes crazy in one of the places, catches them out, they catch bomb out, they just have to sit and waste time, like you keep saying. So I think there's a time when you have to just say, all right, this is not working out for us. Let's, instead of spreading out, let's go back to the basics. Let's go to the defaults. Let's say, all right, we'll 5-man set up on a site. We'll do it nice and quick. We'll execute. We'll have the man advantage. We'll play for trades. We'll try and just go for that, explosive play that we, would like to see. That really has to come out. That has to be the call.
I mean, the only time that they've done that is when they've been on a pistol save like they are now. But I mean, why not do it when you've got full armor and kits?
Yeah, exactly.
And some armor to counter those freaking ridiculous shots there from Ladon. Xylem actually did manage to get a kill there, I think. And but either way, Havoc is on the B side. The bomb is down. 9 seconds left, and Spectre just getting that last clean kill, cleaning up the round there for Ladon with a 10-2 scoreline now for Venom Gaming. They need to switch it up. As you said, either go to the old faithful A take, or go Hail Mary and rush B.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I think it should even be a case of, all right, nothing's working, let's just YOLO it.
Oh, they might be hearing what we're saying, because they are going to take this quick 8 take.
Yes,
Gemini is going to be the
yes.
first with Bullock being the second to go down. Sonic is going to chime in and take down Carnage from continuing his carnage. Arkan is going to be taken out as well. Fear, this is what we need.
This is what we've been waiting for.
Have woken up. And Inspector does take down Fear, but I mean, still 3 players left for Ladon now to take down if they want to win this round. And Sonics is actually going to manage to take down Asylum. I don't know how, but he managed to get it. Ooh, that nade is going to do a lot of damage there onto Havoc. Sonics does swap out there for the AK, but Herman is still in Palace.
Oh, Herman! What an absolute legend!
Inspector
so close.
is sticking the snow, and Herman
Beautiful.
is going to get the oh my goodness!
Team kill from Havoc, but I mean that's exactly what I wanted to see. That's literally exactly what I wanted to see. That was a quick, decisive 5-man execute onto A. Just run and gun, get yourself in there, take the man advantage, get the trades.
Venom Gaming needs to do.
Oh,
this is exactly what we needed Venom Gaming to do, and look how well it paid off. Not only was it an A execute, which we've been waiting for, but it was such an explosive play, and it looks like they're going to be doing it again. And they might be getting a free sight because Ladon actually stacked snipers. So either way, the smokes and the mollies are coming out. Not that there's any players to contest. Sonic is in the Sonics is in the smoke though. I don't know if
Oh,
Fear's gonna.
leg is spotted out.
I was gonna say I don't know if
Fear
Fear's
gets
gonna
one
be
through the
seeing him.
smoke.
And Carnage is chiming in as well. Takes down Arkin, and now just 2 players, both in snipers now. So I mean, for them, it is a little bit of a tough situation. But I mean, it was just a pistol round for Ladon. Either way, though, I'm happy to see Venom Gaming, get a little bit of a get a little bit of a fun time there onto the A side. Omen does take down Inspector. Now just Bullock on the other side of the smoke. And I'm pretty sure Havoc has a good idea that there's someone there.
Ooh.
Oh! Bullock takes down Havoc with a clean headshot.
Oh.
He's gonna take down Xylem as well.
Oh,
and
no.
right now he's just playing for cash and guns. Is gonna get traded out by Carnage. So I mean, no AK for Ladon, but I mean, such a good try there from Bullock there. Unfortunately, the timing just wasn't in his favor, but his headshots certainly were.
Yeah, but now my question is, has the switch flipped on a little bit too late? It's 10-4 as we go into the last round of the first half, and VGE they've finally switched on. They've flipped that switch that we were waiting for them to flip, but that thing needs to stay flipped now. They need to keep it going. They need to keep this momentum carrying into the next round, which is going to be pretty difficult considering CT playstyle is obviously different.
I'm curious to see what they are going to do on CT side, but either way, I hope they don't lose this explosiveness. I mean, you can also be aggressive on the CT side.
Absolutely.
Either way, the Venom Gaming already on B side, equal trades right now. Carnage does manage to take out Arkin, which was the last defender, but we've already got 2 players rotating. Sonics is in this market, is going to be taking this early peek. Oh, that need right into the Carnage there, and Gemini is here to back him up, so Sonic's just posting. Carnage actually manages to take out Gemini. I don't know if he's expecting the second player there though, so... Oh, the timing! Sonic's manages to get out of the window. Oh, and he's gonna get... He's actually gonna get Fear out. I say that, but Carnage does get the trade. And we do get a 5-10 scoreline. It's already looking a lot better than what they did on Nuke.
Absolutely, and I'm so happy that we saw the strats just finally come out for Venom. They just decided, all right, this little spread out thing we've been doing doesn't work. But I'm just sad that it came in so late. They would have had a lot more chance to play around with it in this half, but they only get themselves 5 rounds, and we go into the second half here now. Venom, they have to show us exactly what they can do on the CT side.
I'm very curious to see what they're going to be able to do. We don't see any, a little bit of aggression players right now. I mean, there's no one pushing into lows. Just quite a standard, default CT side hold. We do see that the Ladon guys are queuing up for what looks like an A take. The smokes are coming out now, and now Venom Gaming are going to have the time and the information that they need to rotate and get to this A site as the one-taps are coming through, and Herman is going to take down Inspector, and
Ooh.
Carnage and Fear are chiming in as well. Havoc, all these players just getting such good kills right now, and already only 1 player left. I mean, it is Bullock, so we've seen what he can do. But
that was some great response from Venom. They had that standard
exactly
setup,
what
but
we need.
they were hitting the shots. Even though that smoke was up, they said, "Screw it, we'll just go right through it and get the heads."
Very well played there from Venom. Is going to take down that round. Actually, quite cleanly.
Absolutely,
I
they didn't lose a single player.
They didn't lose a single player, but also the one taps there were just so crisp, so clean.
Absolutely, and I want to see a lot more of that. They're going to be picking up some SMGs and whatnot to solidify themselves into hopefully what will be their 7th round here in the second half. And we have a terrorist timeout. Ladon now deciding what to do. We have seen in certain situations where they lose the first round of the half, they do sometimes force up. We have seen teams do it before, so maybe they're deciding whether they want to force or just kind of save here and maybe plan out what they're going to do next. Tactical pause finishes and technical pause will come out, so wondering now what sorts of issues these teams are having. But as we talk about that, in terms of what these teams are going to be doing on this side, we have to ask the question: is VGE gonna keep up this little trend that they've been setting for themselves? Because that's pretty much gonna be what this round comes down to. We've seen Venom starting to come into themselves a little more, starting to be a bit more confident in themselves. You know, just getting things done a lot more. You know, the last 6 rounds have been a pleasure to watch, pretty much, from Venom. And
Yeah, it's exactly that. They finally woke up. They finally got the energy that they needed.
yeah, exactly. They're looking a
Can
lot
kind
better.
of say good morning to Venom Gaming. It looks like they finally joined us wherever they were.
Finally,
But-
at 9:19, Venom Gaming have woken up and said good morning.
Either way, though, I'm happy to see Venom Gaming finally getting the explosive list that we know that they have. So they just need to keep it going. I mean, like I said, you know, it doesn't just because you're CT doesn't mean that you can't be aggressive. There's such awesome plays that you can do as a CT to kind of just get a leg up on your opponents. We saw Ladon doing that so many times. I mean, either Bullock's taking that early ramp or Palace aggression, or one of the B defenders taking, you know, the apps control. I mean, Sonics and Gemini and Arkan all doing so much work to get those early peaks for Ladon now. And Venom Gaming have to sort of, you know, take a page out of Ladon's book and do their own little aggression. And hopefully they can translate that into round wins, because they definitely need them right now.
Yeah, I'm wondering, you know, if that's the sort of stuff we'll see from Venom here, because, like you said, in the previous half, Ladon, they did get very aggressive. We saw the first 2 rounds, they took lowers control very quickly, and that really paid off for them. And like you said, the A players getting very aggressive towards the A main and the Palace sides, and, you know, getting that quick aggression, maybe unexpected aggression. And I'm wondering if like you said, Venom are going to be taking a page out of, maybe they've got something else up their sleeve. You know, last round we didn't see that much aggression from them. It was kind of just a standard setup, and they reacted very quickly, like we have come to know them for. And I wonder if that's a trend that we'll see, you know, being standard throughout this map.
I'm hoping to see quite a lot of interesting plays. Either way, though, Ladon do have the pistol, so they're going to just take a nice little bit of a stroll down middle. Trying to see if they can get some plays. Arkan is actually going to manage to take down Herman, so now they've got a bit of an 8-sec here. Oh, that Molly is going to take out Fear. And now Ladon actually have A-side control, with Sonics actually getting taken down there by Carnage. And Havoc on the flank is going to take out Arkan. So now we've got 2 players only to defend for Ladon here. Quite split up, but doesn't matter. Carnage is going to take down Bullock. And now just Inspector left alone. And with a little bit of a style jump there from Carnage, we've already got the 7th round there for Venom Gaming. So, I mean, I'm happy to see that. I think they're getting a little bit of a confidence boost now.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what we were talking about, that we had to see from them, you know. We were talking about this very odd kind of timid style of play versus the confident play we usually see from them, and now they've finally turned that confidence on, and they're starting to play a lot better.
I'm happy that they finally woken up, but they've already one map down. So for those of you who are just joining us now, this is the 2nd map. Ladon did take the 1st map, win quite convincingly, I might add. The 3rd map would be Overpass if Venom Gaming managed to win this. So I mean, there's already such a fun map in terms of CT side and T side aggression. So they really, really need to get these rounds and take this win if we want to go to map 3. Ooh, I say that, and Venom Havoc actually is going to take the first kill there onto Arkan. We talked about that ramp control. He just did that. Is going to get a nice early peek and is falling back, just keeping that numbers advantage there. Very, very well played there from Havoc to just make sure that his team is constantly at that advantage. We do see that Ladon. It does seem like we're going to see another 8-sec.
Yeah, and like you said, Havoc opening up a little bit of room to play there, stopping whatever Ladon had planned. They are still going to be doing a little bit of execute here towards the A site, but they need to make these deagles work. They have to play the long angles, and yeah, something has to come of it pretty soon. Pushing onto A site here. Ooh, Havoc. Just anchoring the site like an absolute boss. Bullock all alone.
Actually did manage to jump over, and he is now sitting on stairs, but
yeah, but they know where he
is going to rotate. All 4 players are going to be running down in his position, and very, very well hold there from Venom Gaming.
Yeah, and Havoc doing so much work there, just anchoring the site like a beast, taking down like 2 or 3. So that was definitely really well played.
Very good defense there. Now we do see Ladon finally buying up So there should be a little bit more of an even stance in terms of the 1v1 fights that we're going to be probably seeing quite a lot of. This early... Oh, Sonics is actually going to
Molotov.
manage to get out from that Molotov, but Herman's just going to be... I mean, I feel like Herman needs to just stick with the scouts. He's being so dominating with that.
Yeah,
And-
definitely.
I mean, Venom Gaming just using their utility so well to make sure that Ladon don't have any space to move. Oh, Arkin is going to take down Herman, and now we do see what seems like an A-site
Ooh,
split here. Havoc is going to
Inspector.
be caught out by that Molly, is going to get taken down there by Inspector. Now only, well, I mean, still a 3v3, so I mean...
Yeah, and Fear's in just the right place, but gonna get caught out. So close.
Diamond's already given away his position, and Bullock is still just taking names as he takes down Carnage as well. So I mean, what was a 3v3 quickly turned into a 1v3 now here for Venom Gaming, unfortunately, and Bullock is already on the flank. Seems he's just posting this angle. So I mean, if Zyla decides to go back, he is going to get taken out, but
The
Arkin
headshot
is going to
comes
get the
through.
headshots instead, and now 11-8. We spoke about how important these rounds there are for Venom Gaming, but Ladon still have quite a lot of space to maneuver and to kind of play around with. You know, they have the rounds to save and to throw away if they need to.
Yeah, look, the team seem to
Unfortunately
be
for Venom, though,
on pretty decent economies, standings here. So it's not like it's the end for either of the teams. But like you said, the rounds do count. They do matter. So Venom losing that one is going to be quite devastating. They're going to be picking up the Deagles here and seeing what they can do with them against the full stack of AKs.
but look at this beast side take. I mean, they've already split through middle. Carnage is going to get a lovely shot there onto Inspector. But I mean, with so many players running down, Venom Gaming are still holding their own somehow with these Deagles.
They
and
just
now
make the
only
Deagles
one
work.
player left.
Look at this insanity. 4 HP on Bullock. And against the Deagle, 4 HP is a breath of air.
I mean, oh, wow. I honestly thought it was done there for Venom Gaming. I mean, you had like 5 players already on the side of Ladon just rushing this B-side. So it was only Inspector and Carnage, I believe, left to defend it with what, as we mentioned, just a few mere Deagles. But they made it work there. I mean, some
Yeah.
lovely shots there coming through.
I mean, a few mere Deagles, but if you're hitting heads with those few mere Deagles, then that's few mere kills, and,
Yeah, just a measly Deagle. Just a measly one Deagle.
Just a measly
Either way,
one
though,
league.
now Ladon are going to get the tables turned on them, and they're going to be on the Deagle save now. Still taking quite a lot of mid-take, mid-aggression here, and Carnage is going to get that first kill onto Gemini now, just playing it quiet and playing it for these peaks. Herman is going to take a nice shot there, but isn't going to get anything from it. Asylum with the long-distance XM fight? I question it, but I'm also enjoying it.
Edmeister
Herman
would
and
be
Carnage
proud.
timing it. I mean, I'm also proud. My exit buddy would be especially proud. Either way, now just Arkin and Inspector left, and I think they heard that XM, and now they're running a little bit away there from the B app's control. So still looking to take this mid control. I mean, this is quite aggressive and quite cheeky to take with just Deagles, but Arkin is going to take Carnage out. So I mean, that's 1 kill. Zalem is quite low, but Arkin still has an AWP to deal with.
Yeah.
And Havoc was already on the flank, so I mean, Arkin doesn't have much room to work with.
Yeah,
at this point.
Deagle in a 1v4 is not much room to work with at all. And
With 30
yeah.
seconds on the clock.
we got some momentum for Venom. What can I say?
Zalem is
map
so
3
close
question.
right now. He knows exactly where Arkin is. I mean, there should be a quick take and very good. I mean, just incredible shots there from Venom Gaming coming out now. We finally see them waking up and
Yeah.
showing quite the explosiveness that they are, but also the individual plays that are coming through are insane
Yeah, absolutely.
at this point.
I must say
They're
I'm
winning
very
runs.
impressed.
Yeah, you see, you have to stay impartial because things like these happen.
Yeah, well, hey, I am impartial. I know what you mean.
Either way, no, Ladon is still going to go for this mid-aggression again. Does seem they're slowing it down a little bit. Gemini actually is going to burn Herman out of his position and out of the round, as that's already a first kill for them. Oh, Salem's taking so much damage to the smoke, and it does seem like we're going to be taken for a B. It kind of splits. It does seem like they're just playing for picks at this
Ooh.
point. Xylem is going to get caught out there.
Gemini,
And now-
good positioning.
Ladon has so much positioning to work with. They've got so much map control. They can virtually go anywhere and still have a numbers advantage. So Fear is going to have to do a lot of work if he wants to keep this B side from being taken.
Oof, that
Takes the
shot's not
first
going to
shot,
come
already
in.
gives his position away, but Carnage is here to support his teammate. Oh, Herman! What? I mean, sorry, Fear!
Yeah.
And Carnage and Havoc just taking it down, but Bullock and Inspector chiming in to clear up this B side, so they are going to get the bomb down, and now Havoc just left to clutch it out. 1v2. He at least already had the inclining to rotate, so he's got a bit of a position, although I think he just gave us...
Ooh, nice headshot there. Oh, doesn't get the last one.
The jump there from Havoc, I think, might have just clued Inspector to where he was coming from. I wanted to say he had the positioning advantage there because he was already close to Cat. But unfortunately, I think that sound cue, the jump, might have just given Inspector all that he needed to look at the right place at the right time.
Yeah, you got to be so careful of those sound cues. They can really, really change the face of a game.
It's
It is
really hard
12-10
to
though.
play it calmly, though, when you're in a 1v2.
Absolutely.
Either way, though, 12-10, as you mentioned. Curiously enough, we don't see any mid control coming through. Herman is extremely late for middle. So, actually some lowest control there from Xylem.
Yeah, we see the T's taking the bomb here towards the apps. There's only
Oh, Sonic!
a couple of
He barely missed
CTs.
the Quibus. Is gonna get taken up by Xylem. I honestly don't know how Sonic survived that nade. He was on 23 HP to begin with. That nade put him down to 5. I don't know how it didn't kill him.
Yeah, sometimes you just get lucky, I suppose.
Oh,
Ooh,
these monies are
Arkin.
gonna waste Ladon's time.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Oof, that was just some
Actually,
crazy
a team
trades.
kill? Actually, the team kill coming through, and now just Bullock left is gonna get taken out by Carnage because so much time wasted. And I mean, Venom Gaming are just itching closer and closer to finally tying it up in terms of rounds with Ladon here. They're definitely giving up a much better fight here than they were on Nuke.
Yeah, absolutely. I was thinking exactly the same thing. You know, we said maybe these teams kind of a lot more practiced on this map than the previous one. VG definitely showing up here on this map, making it a lot more interesting, a lot more close, and moving towards, like you said, tying it up in terms of rounds. And if they win this, you know, they would be tying it up in terms of maps. So
Ladon already through to connector though, so he's going to take out Herman, which was the only defense, but Xylem and Carnage are just chiming in. Xylem taking this, already got the bomb. Sonic doesn't have a...
Sonic's that timing is just incredible, but does get caught out. Leave Bullock alone, 1v2.
I mean, that's very well played there from Venom Gaming. I mean, I was worried with 4 Ladon players just rushing through connector. That's when players are put to the test.
Ooh. Jump shot from Bullock.
Nice little bit of utility there, but Bullock still got... I mean, he's got 50 seconds basically to work with, and it's only a...
I mean, that's a lot of time.
1v2. Yeah, and he's picked up a gun. He's got the smoke, so he can at least get into a better position. But I mean, Fear and Havoc have a lovely crossfire here onto connector, which is pretty much the only place that Bullock can go right now.
Yeah, I mean, bomb is down, and so is Bullock. That's going to be 12-12. Rounds are tied up now. And VGE, they have the chance. This is the chance. If they keep the momentum up, they could sprint towards the finish line here and take this map and bring us to a map 3, which I'm definitely rooting for. I want to see map 3. And yeah, it's definitely within the grasp of Venom now. It's close.
You know, we spoke about them finally just doing a lot better on the map, but I also think it's just they managed to get at least 3 more rounds on the side of T, which meant that on CT side they had a lot more chance, you know?
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
we mentioned before, they're much stronger on their CT side, and even as strong as they are, Bullock is going to get a lovely headshot there onto Herman, so it's going to open up a little bit of the defense there for Venom Gaming. Ooh, but Fear actually might peek the smoke. He's getting a lot of information. He's actually getting a one-way. He's going to take 2 players down. That's a one-way there for Fear. Making it work. That's exactly what we need to see from Venom. They're taking these aggressive plays. As I mentioned, they need to counter this aggression. As soon as, you know, the terrorists take, let's say, B, they need to take A, or they need to just counter-aggress what Ladon is doing. And Very
Yeah,
well
and
played
just
there by
play
Arkin.
what they can get, and that's exactly what Fear did in that scenario. You know, just get their one-way smoke going and say, all right, well, I'll just take that for free. Then get the headshots, and that that was pretty much critical. That's going to take down 2 of the T's and give them an advantage to Venom.
That was
Execute
Fear
coming.
that just got those headshots.
Yeah.
Alright. Just be Execute coming in. I mean, at this point, this is all that Ladon can... addict to. And now already one
Oh,
player
Inspector
down.
playing that one so well. Arkin getting up at
Inspector and
third.
Arkin just taking heads and taking names. And now just Havoc left at a 1v3. His
Ooh.
position isn't given away though, so he's going to get a free kill there onto Inspector. But now he's got 2 players to deal with. One actually posting his position with an AWP and a beautiful crossfire coming out here. So he's going to have a lot of work to do. Timing is going to
Havoc
be
has the right
crucial.
idea. Oh, beautiful stuff.
Oh!
Oh, this is so close. He's going to get it. Havoc, that is incredible stuff right there. Just played that one so perfectly. I could not see that going any more perfectly right there. That is props to Havoc for that one. That was just so beautiful to watch.
I mean, Ladon played it exactly how they should have. They had the crossfire going. They weren't peeking over aggressively, but oh my goodness gracious. He played that so perfectly. He made the exact right decision, and I mean,
Yeah,
some of that is luck, and some of that is just very,
Well, I
very,
mean,
very well played.
You know, I was wanting to say, as he was going on, I wanted to say, you know, does he have the awareness that is necessary to catch out these players' positions? But, I mean, that was just perfect awareness, just saying, okay, I've taken down 1. What are the chances there's going to be 1 on this side and the other side? You know, Havoc was checking that broken wall side, knew there has to be at least 1 player that side, but then doesn't over-peek it and actually decides to rotate towards the catwalk and gets the angle, just catches them off guard and wins the spray battle, and that just unlocks the round, you know, just wins it. So that's 13 rounds for Venom.
I mean, we wanted individual players, and we just got a hell of a showing there from Havoc. So
Absolutely.
I mean, Venom Gaming right now, they need to take this confidence, and we actually do see Ladon playing it very slowly, which is something we actually haven't seen from Ladon. We've seen a lot of aggressive players there in middle, especially, but now they're actually playing it quite.
Oh, that spray through the smoke.
Oh.
Havoc again.
I mean, Bullock was just there basically to take their attention away as they are pushing on to B now, and just Fear left to hold the site. But I mean, with 3 players raining down on his position, it is going to make it a lot harder. We actually do still see that Havoc is waiting here to see if it's going to be a flank. Unfortunately, that is going to be the wrong decision, as the bomb is going to go down on B site. Already have 3 players rotated here, so I mean, they're ready to take this retake, but they need to play this carefully, and Sonics is going to get a lovely shot there onto Xylem. Carnage is going to chime back in, gets the trade onto Inspector there, but still 3 players to deal with. And his teammates are on the way, but so much time being wasted right now. He has to find the 3 players. Sonics is going to get caught out now, and now Carnage is going to go on the rampage. Arkin taking down
1v1.
Carnage, and now just Herman and Gemini. Oh, sorry, Herman and Arkin now to fight it out for this round.
Oh, Herman gonna win that.
Herman is gonna clutch it
Oh,
up
my
for his
word.
team and get the 14th round for Venom Gaming.
That's, you know what, these players, they have really turned on as a team, but they've also flipped that switch individually as well. We see Havoc, we see all these players starting to step it up, you know, Herman winning that one out, getting the 14th round there. So the players are also stepping it up now as well, you know, as a team. It's just amazing. Team play, individual play has just really gone from 0 to 100 in this map for Venom.
I'm so impressed by Venom right now. They've really turned it on and they're ready to take it. We do see this mid play coming out again, and Herman just playing it quietly is going to let his teammate take out Bullock, and now he's just waiting for that player to edge through the smoke. Instead, Xylem is going to take him out. Now the bomb is dropped top middle. I wonder if Herman heard the player coming through lowers. I don't know if he's not too careful, he might get caught out here.
Yeah, Xylem has to check this angle here, has to be keenly aware of somebody that could have popped out of lowers there. But yeah, this is definitely VGE stepping up and showing us the team that made it into the grand finals, you know. They made it this far, there has to be a reason.
Arkin nearly caught Herman out there. Just a little bit of timing to miss the headshot there. Salem's already rotated to his position. He's going to take him out. Beautiful team play there. Herman just stepping back. Sonic is going to chime in though and manage to get the A side. However, the bomb is dropped all the way still in T spawn. So there's going to give Venom Gaming a lot of time there to rotate their players in for this possible retake. If
but the CT's
Ladon can even manage.
They're ready for it.
If Ladon can even manage to get the bomb down, because they've already got 4 players, and Venom Gaming are not giving them any space to work with this utility. Sonic's actually manages to take out Fear, so now only Inspector left.
Beautiful
and he's going to get taken out by Herman, and that is match point for Venom Gaming. I mean, we spoke about this team picks just going the other side. I don't even have words for what Venom Gaming have actually managed to do. I mean, coming back from that loss on that extremely harsh loss there on Nuke, going into the second half actually still on a round deficit and managing not only to come back but also to actually be on a winning stance with match point in the grasp here for Venom Gaming. Herman getting that also important early pick there onto Gemini. As we mentioned, he can be so explosive and exactly what he's needed to be doing. Carnage taking so many fights here in the middle is going to take down Arkan, does get traded out there by Sonics, and now 3 players left to capitalize for a round for Ladon, but so much work being done here by the Venom Gaming guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Salem just getting tagged there through the smoke. Ooh.
Yeah, it's just been such a pleasure to watch Venom come back from this one in such a strong way. And they
as
just need one more here.
I find it so hilarious as Nuke was Venom Gaming's pick and they lost on it, and now Mirage was Ladon's pick, and now Venom Gaming are actually set to possibly win this round. I mean, a 2v4 in favor of Venom Gaming right now. You have to wonder if this is too much for Ladon to accomplish. Sonic is nearly got caught out there, and
that's going to be 16.
Oh my goodness gracious.
That was just, I don't know what to say, man. That's just so good to watch. That is so satisfying. We're getting a map 3, ladies and gentlemen, and that is all off of the back of VG just stepping it up in such a huge way, and coming back from the deficit, taking back the map, stepping it up as a team, stepping it up individually, and just some amazing performance from them to take this game 16-12.
I mean, I don't even have words for what Venom Gaming just managed to do. We were worried about their mentality going into this the second map, because I mean, a loss like that can really shake you.
Absolutely.
And we mentioned that Herman wasn't his usual crazy self. But I mean, I feel like some of the individual players that were just coming out from the Venom Gaming guys really boosted their mentality, and they just went into such a powerful half.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, it started with the one little plays that they started to make, and they started to see that they actually do have a chance if they could just, trust themselves a little bit more and start making the bigger plays. And they did exactly that. As we started talking about them switching up the strats, switching up the play style, they did exactly that. They started stepping it up. They realized that if they started doing that, they would see some results, and they did. And they just got more and more confident after that. Round after round, they just started stepping it up more and more, and that led them to win map 2 and take us to Inferno, which I'm super excited about.
Yeah, sorry, there was just a bit of miscommunication. The last map should have been Inferno, not Overpass. But either way, I mean, Inferno is also one of those maps that we can really see, a little bit of a wonderful CT aggression. If you want to talk about just taking B control, if you want to talk about taking apps control, getting that second mid information early in the round. There's so much work that they can do as CTs. I feel like it's gonna really depend on this knife round. We've seen the Venom Gaming are just so explosive and dominating on their CT sides consistently. So you have to wonder if they start out now as a CT side, if that's what they're gonna need to do, or if they're gonna have to do exactly what they did in Mirage. Start out on the weaker side potentially, and just capitalize then and clean up the round on the CT side. But
yeah, absolutely. And I mean, this map in particular, unlike the last couple of maps that we saw, this map in particular is very decisive in terms of what side it is favored on. A lot of people, they say T side is very weak on this map. They say the CT side is a lot stronger, and whether that's true or not, like you said, if Venom get themselves into a comfortable spot, they could definitely be set up to take this round. And, like you said, their CT side seems to be pretty strong compared to their T side so far as we've seen. But a lot of it will come down to, who can take the right kinds of control on this map. One of the biggest things I always say is looking at banana, who gets the control, because unlocking control of that banana position gives a lot of information. It allows you to play with the map a little bit more. So we're definitely in for an interesting game.
Speaking of the interesting game, I just want to remind everyone watching that these players are playing for the charities of their choice. So ultimately, the winner of this game will be winning money, not for themselves, but for the charities that they have chosen to represent. So just to take you guys through the charities that these players are representing. Firstly, Ladon, they are supporting the Willie's Animal Project. Now, the Willie's Animal Project's initial purpose was to sterilize as many animals as possible. Later, they expanded to housing and helping abandoned, neglected, and abused animals. So the animal shelter and adoption center has expanded to nearly 1,000 homeless cats and dogs, and the money raised will go towards helping feed the animals, among other costs to support them. So if you want to check them out, they are at www.willies.org. Willies is spelled Wollies. Now, also on the side of Venom Gaming Endeavour, they are supporting CHOC South Africa. CHOC aims to save lives through early detection and making the journey of those who are affected by childhood cancer less burdensome through the comprehensive support programs that they offer. Now, the CHOC workers wake up every single day to serve and support the children, parents, families, and communities through their cancer journey, and the money raised will go towards making the level of that care possible. So if you want to check them out, they are at choc.org.za. And obviously all of this is possible thanks to Metanoia Esports and their sponsors. So please feel free to go check out their socials. I believe, Patchy, you know their website quite well.
Yes, metanoiaesports.co.za.
Exactly that. So please go check them out. I'm sure they have quite a few events and fun things installed for the community in future. So please do keep an eye out to them. And yeah, I'm happy that we are getting a third map. As you mentioned, I think we're going to be in for an interesting game, especially if Venom Gaming can not only keep their confidence, but also if Ladon can just kind of try and take the reins back a little bit, because we know how dominating they can be. We know how well this team can play. So I'm curious to see, who's going to hold out basically to the end of this third map.
Yeah,
and who's
absolutely.
ultimately going to take it. At this point, I thought it was quite obvious, but...
Yeah, maybe not. I guess we've definitely been thrown for a bit of a curveball. We saw VGE not really performing the way we wanted them to perform in the first map, not really as confident as we would have liked, but they seem to have gotten their confidence back in that second map there and really showed us that they can step it up. And so if they keep that momentum going, and they keep that mindset, stay strong, definitely in for quite an intense game here. They have the potential to take it. It could go both ways, so I'm very keen for this. And just like you were saying, I'm Metanoia organizing some interesting events, and if you were paying attention to, or if you were here in the beginning of the stream, you would have heard the crew, the panel with Pickle herself, just chatting with Toothy and Lycan about what the future holds for Metanoia. They want to have a bigger, better charity cup next year, so I'm definitely already excited for that. Even though that's next year, it's definitely going to be very interesting to watch. And everything is going to be bigger and better. Lots of cool stuff happening, so definitely pay attention to Metanoia social medias and whatnot. They are basically Metanoia Esports on pretty much everything, so you can go check them out there and just keep up to date with what they're doing. And there's definitely going to be some interesting stuff happening over here in the future.
Can't wait to see it. But as we say, I think the idea of just doing a charity cup, to finally see teams not only play for themselves. I mean, we obviously have a little bit of bragging rights involved, but to finally see teams, playing for a cause bigger than themselves. It's also a very interesting thing that that works on not only your mentality but also kind of like your drive, depending on how close you are with the charity involved.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like that can definitely give you like a little bit of an extra boost that you won't normally have. Either way, now we are going to go into the knife round. As we mentioned, I'm pretty sure that the results of this game is going to weigh heavily on this knife round, as we've seen Venom Gaming really, really do so well on that CT side, and for them to start out on a CT side for once tonight might actually make the difference, and it does seem like they're going to have the ability to choose this time. So like I mentioned, I'm not sure if they want to try and start on CT side, get as many rounds as they want to, and then go into that T side, just getting whatever they need to. If that's the mentality, that they have been doing so well on their CT side. I mean, they literally came back from a 10-5 half and actually won it. It's ridiculous.
Absolutely incredible. So we're going to see VGE on the CT side, like you said, pretty much as predicted. They are going to be starting CT side, which, as we have said, is looking their stronger side. And it's let's see what they can do on here, and hope they can start off strong.
We don't see a lot of early CT aggression from Venom Gaming there. They do seem to be quite standard in terms of their first round takes. So at this point, we do see Ladon just slowly walking towards this contact play in apps. They're going to be walking until they find contact, and then they're just going to... Seems like they're just going to go for waterfall apps here. They do have the smoke and the mollies, and obviously the bomb to take this A site right now. It does seem like Zonix and Archon are ready for this mid utility. So we're going to see a full A execute here from Ladon as the first smoke is coming out. That signals that the rest of the utility is going to start flowing in, and Ladon are prepping for this A side take. Venom Gaming, 3 players here to defend it. Havoc is going to take first contact with Zonix, and Zonix and Gemini just cleaning up the defense here. So now Fear and Herman need to clean up and retake a 2v5 situation here. So a bit of a tough situation right now.
Yeah, that was a very quick and decisive take from Len. They just threw the execute in, had the utility down, and then they just popped the heads. Which is surprising for you, considering that usually you expect the USP to be popping the heads like Hammond is doing right now. But at best he can hope for is a little bit of damage. Gets a second one, actually. Gotta get as many of these players down as possible. Cheeky knife.
I mean, at least these players are having fun. And Herman is going to get quite a lot of money for his troubles. He's going to end up with 4K. Fortunately, he didn't get the round, but I mean, he's got a lot of money right now that he can spend dropping pistols for his teammates, or save it going into, obviously, as the AWP, save it for the AWP, third round. Either way now, nice to see a little cheeky play.
It is, yeah. It's always nice to see a little bit of cheeky knife plays going through, and a little bit of fun times had by all. As we said, this is the Charity Cup, so taking it a bit too seriously can ruin your mental state. Just have a little bit of fun with it. That's the point. And it's nice to see stuff like that. Ooh, Corbus!
Havoc unfortunately just walked straight into that. Xylem actually got a shot there through the smoke. I think there might have been a little gap that he could have used there, but either way, Ladon is again going to take this A site, and again we've got a 2v4 this time. But still, I mean, I feel like we're just expecting a little bit too much for the players with only a little bit of pistol and armor right now.
Perhaps a little bit of a tall order for sure.
Yeah, a little bit of a tall order. Either way, though, it does seem like they're going to just back off. Fia actually didn't manage to salvage a Galil going into the next round. So that's at least going to be a gun advantage there for them, and Herman is just going to stay and see if he can make a little bit more money. He's already sitting on that 3k boundary there, so he's going to be quite set to get the AWP when he needs it. I wonder if he's going to be expecting Inspector here, though. He's holding this angle. At most, might get a free kill or might get taken out, but he's not going to lose much. He's going to get a little bit of an extra kill there to just pad his pockets right now.
And get that gun that he can donate.
And get a Mac 10 that he can donate, but not only that, he actually is completely set to get a third round AWP. So, for him,
that's gonna be pretty big.
It was worth the investment and worth the risk to stay there.
Yeah, for sure. And now we're going to see buy-up, which is
a full buy-up, yeah.
Going to give VGE that chance to take some momentum in the half. Going to be seeing Venom standard setup once again. Nobody getting too aggressive here. Carnage here in mid just watching for that T push. Nothing too crazy going on just yet. Bit of spam in apps. Actually going to give away a little bit of positioning. The spam through apps did tag up one of the players. They are going to fall back. Top of banana here. Control has been taken.
We just see the players just holding it at default right now. They are just trying to get a little bit of a pick here and then possibly go into this round. Do you see the executes finally coming out? And then now it should be an A execute here coming for Ladon, with these players just holding the defense force.
Ooh, Bullock going to get taken out super quick as they sit up in that apps position. That's going to stop the terrorists from getting the momentum that they want to get. They are kind of stuck here in this mid position, moving towards lane, trying to get this bomb towards the A site. They're a little bit stacked up here, and this could be dangerous if they get caught out. Somebody could be taking this. Gemini going to get Xylem though. Inspector gets onto site, followed quickly by the rest of the team. Havoc going to go down. Now we have Carnage, Herman, Fear trying this retake. Carnage and Fear gonna go down to Arkin there. Now it's up to Carnage and Herman to do something. Arkin super close up here with this Mac 10. This is deadly. And I think maybe Carnage gonna get caught out here quickly. Herman can't hit the shot, and actually he's gonna go down as well. That's gonna be devastating for VGE. 3 rounds to 0 for Ladon.
I mean, quite well played there from Ladon. They held the angles that they needed to. Made sure that everyone had a covering fire and a crossfire to basically work off. So, I mean, quite clinical there from Ladon. It does seem like they're going quite serious now. Unfortunately for Venom Gaming, that was their first buy-up that they actually couldn't convert into a round win. So, I mean, kudos to Ladon there for actually managing to make it work with their buy. And now already Carnage going down. And with these pistols, I mean, Xylem and Havoc just trying to do some work there. And Apps is going to manage to get a kill, but does get traded out. So still the numbers advantage in favor of Ladon.
Havoc gets
Havoc
another.
still doing the work. Managing to get his second kill and still doing
Almost
so
gets a
much
third
damage
there.
with this 250. Oh my goodness gracious.
Well,
And Fear actually catching Gemini off guard there. So
I
these
mean,
Ladon players
it
are just
looks
getting-
like VGE, they take a little bit of time to wind up, it seems, you know, especially against such a well-versed team. So it looks like they are slowly getting to be a bit more comfortable here. And hopefully they keep this progression up.
Oh, unfortunately there for him, and the shots, just the last 2 shots that he needed just didn't connect. They're doing so much damage with these pistols though, so I mean quite a lot. Well, I mean I say quite a lot, but those players have already been taken out. So Gemini is the only one sitting right now below 50 HP, but Havoc should be able to recover a rifle here for the next round. I mean he should be happy with his work from this round. He managed to get 2 kills and is gonna take an AK for his troubles. So
Yeah, I mean,
the next round should be the next buy for Venom.
yeah, when you have a pistol round like that, you know, getting any sort of damage is pretty helpful, and Havoc gets 2 and a free AK, like you said. So it's not the worst that could have happened for sure. And you know, just seeing Havoc hitting the shots like that and seeing the players start to get a bit more comfortable on the map, you know, it gives you hope for a little bit later. Maybe VG just need a bit of time to get into themselves here again and start pulling out some crazy rounds like we saw in the previous map.
No, exactly that. I mean, we do know that well, actually, we know that both of these teams are extremely capable of playing those individual players and getting those ridiculous shots that we've seen tonight. So I need Venom Gaming to kind of capitalize with their buys. I mean, we saw their first buy going badly, but
There it is. There's the capitalize.
I've been begging for Herman to just take the shots and to be as aggressive as we know he can be, and just like that, he's already got the numbers advantage. But still, this B aggression now from Ladon. They've got a lot of B control. Xylem actually chiming into Gemini, so now they've got complete A control. So they have the information, and we can see the player rotating on the side of Venom Gaming, so that we've got 3 players defending this B side because they have the information that Ladon players are nowhere near A now.
Yeah, and they've had these T's boxed into a banana position here, and so Carnage really holding onto those angles quite nicely. That's going to waste a lot of time. Inspector,
Inspector
though.
does get the kill onto Xylem, so he is going to open up the sights, but don't know if Arkan's going to expect. I mean, I was going to say, I don't know if Arkan's going to expect him there, but
Yeah, that was one hell of a
beautiful
shot.
pre-fire. He must have known that, they're holding that close angle there. So now, I mean, the tables have been turned again, so Venom Gaming naturally believe that this is going to be an A take because they just saw 2 players.
Herman, it's
But-
all onto him, and he produces the results, takes down Bullock, defending
They're
this
still
B
going
side
to
alone.
have 2 players to deal with, though.
But I mean, if anyone can do it, it's Herman.
Rightly so. Other way now, he's got an AWP and he has to defend. Fear's already on the rotate now, and Inspector
there it is.
going to manage to land the shot onto Inspector. Nearly gets the shot onto Ark, and either way, though, gets traded out. With 5 HP, he manages to hold B sites and win Venom Gaming their first round of this map.
Yeah, and like I said, there it is. Herman, he gets the 1, gets the 2nd, and it pays enough distraction for them to get the 3rd, and just holds on to that site like an absolute mad lad. And you were talking about how you wanted Herman to step up, and here it is.
Beautiful plays there from Herman. That's exactly what you needed him to see.
Ooh, this is a
That
quick one from Gemini. Gonna get tagged up a little bit though. Just holding onto this position. Carnage once again up here. They haven't been able to go further into this top banana area. Gemini tried to get there. It was going up very, very quickly, but just couldn't get onto there. The mollies are going to come in to try and open it up a little bit, give them a bit more position, but Fear's boosted up here, could do so much damage, gets 2 of them. Arkan and Gemini going to be going down, and that's going to be Banana super clear right now. Bombs all the way back towards T-Spawn, and now the terrorists so split up. Sonics retrieves the bomb here. Now the decision has to come in. Bollock also going to go down. Now it's a 2v5, and Ladon looking pretty desperate into this one. Not too sure what to do here. Inspector finally going to take down Havoc, allowing them a little bit of entrance. Sonic's not going to get the job done. Bomb's going to go down. Now Inspector's the last one left alive, and Herman. There it is.
I mean, we've mentioned he can be such a good player with that AWP, and I feel like they just need to see for themselves that they can do it, and then they just run away from it.
Yeah, that's Herman, 9
they just run
frags.
with it.
9 frags, top of the
He's
server
gonna-
right now.
He's 9 for 2 right now. He's putting in the work that he needs to. Either way, though, 7th round, and for the side of Ladon, they are going to have to save, so it's a little bit of a tough decision here, but they are going to go for this mid-aggression. You can see that they're quickly running up middle. Herman is going to have a lot of work to do. He's going to miss the first shot. He's going to have 3 players raining down on his position. Needs to hit these shots. Is going to get taken out by those pistols.
That's so unfortunate,
deadly
but
up
these
close, and now it's just
quick
Silent
aggression
left.
is going to be so devastating.
Oh, does manage to get a kill there onto Arkan, but is going to get traded there almost immediately by Sonics. So now just Carnage and Fear for Venom Gaming now to clutch this out. But I mean, such dinks. Carnage down to 9 HP is going to be already on the disadvantage here going up into this retake. So Ladon have had the time to set up and the positioning. Oh, Carnage with a beautiful headshot there. Sonics though got Fear. Fear actually managed to burn Sonics out of position. Carnage actually has no idea where Gemini is. Did not see the bullets coming
but he
through.
still gets-
He's gonna get the kill, and he has the time.
This is
I'm speechless.
This is the stuff that we started seeing in the previous map. This is the kind of plays that started unlocking VGE and started giving them the confidence, and winning around like that is super important. They've got the plenty of money now, they can buy up fully, and now they just also have that confidence boost, knowing that they can just win things like this. I'm sure they must be super hyped after that one. 3-4, they are down 1 round, but I mean, that 1 round can change super quickly, and everything rests now on this. Herman got that AWP in his hands, no AWP for Ladon. So, yeah, this is looking good.
I mean, he has that AWP, but he was also glass cannoning. Not that it matters, because that headshot from the AK
Yeah.
from Sonics does take him out. So
Yeah,
I mean,
Herman
Team
not
Endeavour
gonna-
have just they've been getting these clutch plays that are so crucial to their round wins. That is not only crucial, but also quite unbelievable, I'd say.
Yeah, absolutely. And unfortunately, Herman going down so early there is gonna make things a little bit difficult for Venom, considering that's been such a top important player to get things done.
The hope has been recovered though, so
Yeah, but let's see how
That
Xylem can use it.
oh,
Takes the spam through the smoke, but not really hitting anything. Oh, gonna leg. Xylem goes down. Sonics only gets legged. That's so unfortunate. Havoc gets Inspector though. So it is still a 4v3. And Sonics and Arkin are quite low. A couple of bullets will do. But Havoc needs to catch somebody out in this position.
Ladon players are quite low, and Havoc is going to take the first fight, is going to take down Arkin. Bullock with the chime in, gets the retake. Fear jumping through the smoke, and Carnage getting taken out shortly afterwards. Unfortunately there for Venom Gaming, but extremely well played there from Ladon. Also getting some insane individual plays there. I mean, that was an interesting round there from Ladon, but they were taking that aggression so beautifully. I mean, they were pushing through the smoke, they were getting those AWPers out of position, and those early picks there from Sonics really gave them the advantage that they needed. So now Team Endeavour is going to be going on a save round. It does seem like they're going for the typical mid grenade. Oh, finally going to catch out Zonix for the first time with a Kirby there, and unfortunately the trays come in and just Xylem left now to kind of just make some money. Get a little bit of extra padding into their pockets.
But that previous round that we saw, it all started with Herman going down to a quick one-tap from an AK, having to, transfer the AWP over to Xylem. And Xylem just, missed a shot, got the leg instead, and, that just kind of opened up the round for Ladon and allowed them to do pretty much whatever they want. A little bit of a save round coming out here for VGE. And they are doing what they can with it. They got some nice Kobe's there, but it's not going to be enough. And 3-6.
Sure. Incredibly played there. Team Endeavour got that little bit of a cheeky Quibus there in the beginning. I feel like that was just payback to Sonics for the previous round for getting his initial pick. So either way there, a little bit of back and forth, but Team Endeavour is going to go for their buy round now. So they're finally not at a disadvantage when it comes to gun powers. So hopefully they can capitalize and turn this into a round. They've really been struggling into converting these advantages into rounds so far, because Ladon have been so crucial in terms of just coordination and making sure that they don't overextend into any places that Venom can take control. And Bullock making quick work there of Xylem is going to exactly show what I was talking about. Not overextending and just making sure he takes that fight as safely as possible. Either way, they're going to go for this A site take. Bomb is at the bottom of ramp though, so they are going to be wasting a little bit of time if they do get the site to retrieve it.
Everything's going to fall onto Havoc now because everyone's coming his way. He has to anchor this like nobody's business. There's like 4 players going to pop into his crosshair right about now.
They don't see him still, so his position is still secure. He's going to take the fight. He's managing to take down Bullock.
Gonna get taken
Still
down.
somehow stays alive for a little bit and gives his team enough time to finally rotate and take the peaks that they need. Inspector though is going to take the head off of Carnage, and now just a 2v2. Herman's position has been given away from that previous shot. Actually,
but gets the What on earth is this, Herman? You're crazy. You're crazy.
Herman's just putting it now into a 2v1, and Fear is going to take Arkin out, and beautiful play there from Venom Gaming to secure themselves the round after they find the bomb, that is. Either way now, we're going to go into the 10th round now. So, I mean, Venom Gaming slowly but surely creeping towards Ladon's scoreline. So,
and it's all about those crazy
they're still
plays.
in this.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Ridiculous plays, ridiculous shots, especially by Herman. And especially by almost all the players. I mean, we've seen ridiculous headshots, we've seen ridiculous holds. It's interesting to me to see how Venom Gaming are starting off on this round. They're not as impactful as we thought they would be on the CT side. Either way, though, they are making their stance towards tying it up, and with that kind of a hold, I mean, Ladon is going to unfortunately be taking down 2 losses. Gemini actually gets a kill through the smoke, and Zonix is going to chime in to get the head of Herman, and now the numbers advantage that Venom Gaming just so quickly had achieved is now going to be taken out of their hands. Yeah. Still no side control for Ladon, but Xylem is going to take Sonics out. And again, this number advantage. Ooh, a little bit of lag there.
Yeah, but, this is this is now coming down to the wire. Like you said, VGE not as decisive maybe as we expect them to be on the CT side, but like I said, the T side is considerably or considered more difficult, but they didn't seem to be handling it quite well. And
Salem is just gonna miss Gemini and Inspector there through the smoke, so now it's just left up onto Havoc's shoulders to clutch it out. Is gonna take down.
My soul
It's
actually
gonna
gets
manage
it done.
to take down both the players, and is gonna actually manage to get it done again. These ridiculous individual players coming through from Team Endeavour just to clutch it out round after round, and they're ever so close to tying it up with Ladon right now. I mean, they're maybe not as decisive as I think they want to, but it's still quite early into the match. We're only on the 12th round, so...
Yeah, but I mean, if we're going to be seeing plays like those, I mean... doesn't matter which side they're on, if Endeavour keep doing this kind of stuff, it doesn't matter if they're on the T side, if they get the bomb down, if they can crack into sides like that, if they can keep doing crazy things like they've been showing us, then, maybe it won't matter. Maybe not. Either way, though, Ladon's going to take for this early A push through the smoke, through middle, is going to take the head of Herman down, and that's the AWP down. Are going to rotate onto this A side take, and just these pistols are being so decisive now for Ladon. Already 2 players down, already 2 guns recovered, and already the bomb down. They've got the positioning now, they've got the timing, they just need to hold this if they have any chance of winning their 7th round. Already the Venom Gaming guys are going to rotate in, Havoc taking the first contact. Carnage going to get the head of Arkin. I just said Karkin and I just said Carnage and Arkin, same. Either way. Ooh, is this a Corbus?
It's still happening.
Oh, it doesn't happen. I was super excited there.
Kill him before the nade could kill him. I tried to say Carnage and Arkin at the same word, and then I said Cark. I apologize to both of you.
Oh, yeah. Either way, though. So
many names, so many things happening.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot to take into account. I mean, sometimes I'm just sitting here like, I really don't even know what to say, It's just so incredible to see some of these crazy players coming out for Endeavour. They just make something happen, We'll be like, oh, it's a 1v2, can they do it? And then they just do it. It just happens. And like, immediately after we said, like 2 seconds later, they just do it.
I don't know, these individual players have been leaving me speechless at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. So beautiful to watch, really. You can see a little bit of damage go down to Arkin, but shots through the smoke. Can't underestimate those.
I mean, Ladon are coming out of this round fighting. Even though Venom Gaming just managed to tie up the scoreline, they've already down to a 2v5, and so much work needs to be done by Fear and Herman if they have any chance of winning this round. It does seem like Ladon is going to go for this B-side take. Fear is so close, he has to do a lot of work now. Is going to manage to take down Arkin. Almost gets Sonics. Either way though, Sonics and Inspector are open and have a clear path into this B-side. And already Bullock is on the flank, is going to take down the AWP.
Yeah, that's just a very, very well done by Ladon, actually, and they come back fighting, and it's important because, like I keep saying it, when you get to third maps, teams start playing out of their minds. They realize this is like do or die moments. They have to do it. They have to start just like getting it done, and so you see these teams start to play really, really like 100% harder, 120% harder than they would usually play. Trying to get that W. This is the last map. Or is it?
Whoa!
Oh my soul!
Sonics with the collapse!
That's
He's still fighting for more. He's gonna get taken out by Carnage here. And Carnage is actually very close to the bomb. I'm not sure that he knows though. He's gonna go for the gun instead. Nearly got caught out there, but either way, Arkin is gonna manage to get the bomb onto the A side quite easily, as there's no Team Endeavour players here to defend it.
Yeah,
but I mean, they've managed to save an AWP now, so you have to wonder if they're just going to save it.
That's some good stuff, It's an AWP in Herman's hands. That could be pretty meaningful.
You got a bit of alarms going up there.
Yes, apparently. I hope I'm not getting broken into, because then I'll just have to club some people.
On stream.
Yes, I'll do it. I'll club them. I'll club them, Oz. come into my house, say yes.
Either way,
Ooh, Havoc, that's cheeky right there, taking that fight with a pistol and winning it.
I wanted to say, I'm sure Havoc is going to play this quite passively. Is he actually going to try and go for the gun?
I would.
There's a bomb ticking down.
He just
And
decides to
rightly
give it
so,
up.
he gets taken out. Either way, though, they are going to manage to take an AWP into this next round. So, interestingly enough, this is the first map that we haven't seen a lot of timeouts from either team so far. I
Yeah,
mean,
they
normally
seem to be-
by this, we're on the last round of the half, and we haven't seen a single timeout. So
Yeah, I guess
I
things
feel
have
like
been going
both
their
of
way.
I feel like both of these teams are just kind of interested to get this done and to just play some CS.
Yeah, they know what they want to do. They seem to be pretty set on it. So no timeouts just yet for them. They're not in a need of a tactical reshuffle. They are quite confident in what they're doing, and I mean, rightly so. It's 6-8, so not super far apart so far. Last round of the half, though. Slow plays from Ladon. Ooh, spam through the smoke and it takes Xylem down. Now, Bullock, Gemini, taking control of that mid in there. Bomb is actually up here towards that mid area, but it's not going to be taken anywhere. B is completely open though, and if the team actually realizes, if Gemini spots this out, this could be information that's crucial to just moving this bomb over to the B site. 45 seconds left on the clock now. Bullock spamming through that smoke. Fear on 1 HP. Now the CTs have stacked A, and that's going to be exactly that. Ladon going to be moving on to the B side, which is completely empty now. That's a free bomb plant. It's going to be up to Fear with this 1 HP to do something, and nothing is going to happen out of that. 1 HP is very difficult to do pretty much anything on. Now, CTs, 3 of them coming from CT side. They're all in the same kind of general direction. It's going to have to take quite a bit of work for these CTs to get back into this bomb site. T's playing it nice and passive, just holding the angles like they should. Inspector going to be first point of contact, takes down Carnage. Herman though.
Herman chiming in there.
Yeah, that's some...
Still so many players that they need to take out.
Important
Havoc and
picks,
Herman
though.
actually just took out 2 of the last remaining players on the A side, to the B side, sorry. And now just Gemini left.
Gemini swings
Although
out, it's not going to be enough
wasted
time.
so much time. There's no time. And
So
that
close.
is going to be the half. With a 9-6 scoreline in favor of Ladon.
That was
I mean,
almost...
Gemini played that. That was extremely close.
was
I mean, I
very
didn't
close.
expect them to get those kills onto the site so quickly.
Yeah, if that had happened any sooner, it might have gone the way of VGE, but it's not. It's going to be 6-9, and like I say, if you're losing a half and you get 6 rounds, you're in a pretty good stead to go through the next half. You've got a little bit of wiggle room to work with. So, you know, Endeavour, they're not in a bad spot here, but they do need to show that their T side is strong. Which, like you said, might not be the case considering their CT side is usually, or traditionally at least, been their stronger side. So we'll have to see.
You never know. I don't know. This game has also just not been what I've expected it to be.
Absolutely, yeah. We've
So
definitely
maybe you know, Inferno's T side is really where their strengths are.
Yeah,
Like I said,
maybe.
it is one of the maps that a lot of players, you know, often see. So they should have more experience on this map. They should have more hours on this map.
Yeah,
and that
well,
might translate into better executes. Either way, though.
I mean,
here
we're
comes the
talking about advantages. Gemini on 6 HP and Bullock on 20, and that's just owing to the dinks that
Oh.
VGE are pushing through.
But Sonics is still on site and he's still managing to hold it, giving his team so much time and also the numbers advantage. Now, what should have been Venom Gaming's round
Is going to be Venom
becoming a
Gaming's
little-
round.
It should be, I was gonna say. But
There it is.
Havoc and Xylem doing what they need to. Havoc actually finishing on a 3k.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, like you said, it started to get a little bit crazy at the end there, but I mean, ultimately, VGE, they had everything pretty much going for them. They got the early dinks, they got onto that side, they got the bomb down, and, you know, they just really showed us that they can use the pistols pretty decently.
What I wanted to say is all the Latin Sonics actually just made it a little bit harder for Venom Gaming, but ultimately, they still had that round pretty much in their grasp. And like I mentioned, this is the first time that we've actually seen Venom Gaming capitalize off of a T side, especially a first round.
Yeah, and that's definitely encouraging in terms of showing us what they can do on the T side, like we were talking about earlier. They've picked up these SMGs, and I'm hoping to see a little bit of an aggressive, quick rush here with the SMGs.
For once, they're not the ones on the pistol save.
Yeah.
But these nades might be a decider. Is actually just not going to catch any of the Team Endeavour
towards A.
Oh my, yeah.
This could be exactly the play they need.
Don't think Havoc saw him there. He's been firmly in the smoke, so he's gonna get all the information he needs for his teammates right now. But they are on the long rotate.
Yeah, now it's gonna have to be retake.
Ooh, he nearly caught Havoc out there, so Havoc's on 30 HP. Bullock is gonna take down Herman, and now we've got a 4v4. But still, the gun advantage sitting on Venom Gaming side. Havoc is going to take down Gemini and does have a clue that Sonics is close. Sonic's going to chime in with those deagles, so ever powerful.
Doesn't even pick up the MAC-10.
Doesn't need to because he's got the Juan Deag. Carnage is going to chime in with his MP7, and I mean, at this point, it's just cleanup. They should have the time. Bullock doesn't have the defuse kit, so even if he manages to kill them, he doesn't have time to defuse.
Last bullet of the mag manages to take down Xylem. Actually, it's Fear as well. That's a lot of economic damage, but it doesn't actually matter because the bomb plant, the win, is going to give VGE the money they need if they want to buy into this one once again. I don't know if I suggest it, but they're going to be picking it up anyway. They're not going to have too much utility to work with, but that's not going to really matter considering Ladon, they're actually going to be saving here once again.
Yeah, weirdly enough, even though Bullock got 4 kills that round, all that it did was put him back onto, that 2000 scoreline that you need to save as a CT. Yeah. Because he ultimately had to force the deagles and the nades and the armor. So it's gonna leave Ladon on their second save, which is a little bit frustrating, but it should give Team Endeavour the chance to get their 9th round and tie it up. Yeah, they are going to go for this A push. Arkan is actually going to manage to get Xylem and get the bomb.
Yeah, the man advantage towards his A side has been really working out for them.
Yeah, he managed to get a little bit of time there for him, but Herman is going to chime in and get inspected now, and Bullock's position has been given away. Gemini still sitting in this boiler position. With 13 HP, you have to be a little bit careful when you peek.
Yeah. Kobe could come in at any moment.
Kobe could actually come in and get either of them at any moment.
Speaking of though, Havoc is right here for the flank. Could catch them out. Gemini. There he goes. Bullock's the last one left alive with the Deagle. 57 HP and nothing's going to happen. It's going to be 9-9 and yeah, it's like I said, this is looking like anyone's game so far. It's just so close. Both of these teams really just pulling out all their resources, showing us how dominant they can be on whatever side they're put on. And now it's just going to come down to who plays the best on the day.
Also, just who can basically just keep forward their momentum and take it on. Yeah, because absolutely. I mean, we are on the 3rd map, and this game is getting so close. This might be, if we're lucky, this might be a map that goes into overtime. Because, I mean, they've tied it out 9-9 now. Which is sooner than what it was on the previous map that Venom Gaming actually managed to win.
Yeah, for
sure. So they're doing a lot better than what they were on the last map, and that was already such an improvement. Arkan doing so much damage onto Havoc.
That is a bait right there.
The bait and switch worked out perfectly there for Team Endeavour, and they managed to get a kill out of it. I mean, Havoc is sitting a little bit hurt on 3 HP,
yeah.
But he's going to be happy with that, and Fear's definitely going to be happy with that kill.
Yeah, especially losing the trade like that, managing to actually just get the kill and stay alive is super incredibly helpful.
They're just basically pulling Ladon out of their positions and getting the kills that they need to. By now, I think they're kind of getting a grasp on how on how Ladon works. I say that, unfortunately, Carnage does get a team kill, so that's going to be a number disadvantage. He's going to get taken out by Gemini. And now, Bullock chiming in alongside Gemini, cleaning up this A push, and that's going to be the 10th round there for Ladon.
VGE got stuck there in lane and couldn't get the kill they wanted. They left Gemini alive way too long in the pit position. Gemini getting a nice little peek over there, and that allowed them to just kind of shut down that whole play. and VG got just stuck and shut down in the chaos there. Finally, that pause you mentioned that was never coming out is finally going to come out. VGE taking that one, and they're starting to discuss what they want to do here. 9 to 10, super close, basically neck and neck, and now VG are going to have to decide what they want to do here.
Yeah, we had I think Ladon. No, it was there was a timeout earlier. I think it was a counter-terrorist timeout, but still, I mean, only 2 timeouts so far in this entire in this entire match, and compared to the other ones where we basically had 4 in a row, I'd say the players are a little bit more comfortable on this side.
Yeah,
We do see a
absolutely.
little bit of a tech pause, unfortunately, coming out. So whether we want to or not, they are going to be discussing their strats a little bit as well, probably. But with Ladon and with Team Endeavour right now, they've been fighting it out. Ladon started so strongly and so quite dominantly there on Nuke, and then when we went to Mirage there, it was seemingly like it was going to be Ladon's clean sweep once again. I mean, they've already beaten this team 2-0 when we were doing the group stages, not the group stages, the brackets earlier.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for them now to lose this map, it's you have to wonder, has the experience of this Charity Cup been what Venom Gaming needed to finally take Ladon on in a comfortable stance?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what it's looking like, Like you said, Ladon already beat this team 2-0 quite decisively in the upper bracket. And VGE, they just went down into that long, trial run of doom and just made it out at the end, won the lower bracket, and came back to face Ladon in the grand finals. And, they've definitely stepped it up. They've obviously learned a lot from their little run, and they're back to try again, Definitely giving it their all. They're looking quite good.
No, they are, and we were hoping and we were praying for that explosiveness that we needed them to do. So I'm happy to see now that Venom Gaming are finally going through it and they're finally catching up to the usual stance. It's
Yeah,
curious
nice
to
to
see
see.
though that Venom Gaming seems to be getting better and better each map.
Yeah, absolutely. It does seem to be that way. Like I was talking about earlier, they, take a round or 2 to start getting a little bit warmed up into the map. But then once they've found themselves, they look like a quite a strong, formidable team, and they're giving Ladon a run for their money right now. Ooh.
No, they are. They're fighting quite a bit, and I'm happy to see it. I mean, this is the kind of CS that you want to see. You want to see this back and forth,
Yeah, absolutely.
kind of even matchup, because that's really what makes CSGO interesting.
Yeah, it really does. Imagine Jack Black playing Blackjack with Jack the Black while eating Cracker Jack. Thank you for that one, Fear. I always love a bit of funny tongue twisters. Sonic going to be the first point of contact. This is going to be so devastating. That flash is going to come in. And just everyone going to go down instantly.
I mean, we
17
wanted
seconds. That round took 17 seconds.
And it puts Inspector on his 17th kill. So I mean, Inspector just quickly made work of Venom Gaming there. I'm actually lost for words. That was such a beautiful flash there. I mean, the whole of Team Endeavour was just completely blinded there for that B-Tech, and just running into Inspector's crosshair. Ooh, Sonic's getting a delicious shot there onto Carnage. Again, getting such an early peek there. So now moving on, and oh my goodness gracious.
This is just absolute chaos right now. Ooh,
Feels
Havoc gonna catch out the boost. Gonna almost get 2 there. That was so close, but now they know of the little positioning here. Did hear the retreat. Fear's got the bomb. Is alone though. CTs are rotating super quick. Oh, Sonic's been on point this round and last round. Bomb is down. This is pretty much going to call in the save, I think. I wouldn't suggest trying to do anything funny here. This is definitely the call for save. It has to be. You don't want to lose these weapons. You don't want to lose these helmets. A little bit of utility on Herman. There's no reason to take this one. You're not going to win it. 2v4, unless you get an insane pick about now. I think maybe a save is in order.
Definitely. I mean, Ladon have suddenly just pulled out such an incredible aggression right now. I mean, maybe, that timeout, that combination of timeouts is what they needed to just kind of, stretch a little bit, maybe reposition in their chair and just honestly take it back.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, there's been some ridiculous shots here now. They're just going for it at this point, and it's great to see now from Ladon, because this is the kind of explosiveness and the kind of aggression that honestly won them such a almost clean sweep there on Nuke. I mean, it was a 16-5 scoreline.
Yeah.
So if they bring this back, I think Team Endeavour might have a little bit of a tougher fight. We were just saying how Team Endeavour, is giving Ladon a run for their money, and now Ladon have suddenly just switched it up, and I think Endeavour's going to be taking a little bit of a back there and need to just reset and just kind of make sure that they know exactly what Ladon is doing.
Yeah,
and
and it's all about shutting down the ability for VGE to get like the crazy clutches that they've been getting. Like that round the bomb was down, they had everything on lockdown. It was very difficult for Endeavour to be able to do anything crazy in that particular scenario. It's about taking away those positions.
It's also about taking away their HP, because Havoc has now sitting on 9 HP and Fear on 61.
Definitely
those nades did so much damage. Oh my goodness.
Decisive utility usage for sure.
And again, Venom Gaming are sitting here, they've got a full B commit, so they have nothing else to work with except for this B tech right now.
Yeah, Xylem gets one through the smoke, but it doesn't really matter at this point.
Again, that utility damage there. I mean, first the nade for that early just damage there, and the mollies and the nades and the smokes just slowing down Team Endeavour's momentum, but also just taking away their HP. And now they don't really have much to do for this round, so I mean, money-wise, surely you should save it in this case.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. This is one of those unfortunate scenarios where you might have just be forced to save once again. You have very little chance of getting back into this one unless Herman can get a very quick pick. They have 35 seconds to play with, but they have to, check the corners correctly, and they have to get something done. They spot out one. Molotov comes in. Now it's about, did they spot out this last player? Looks like they're playing it a bit slow. That's going to give Inspector everything he needs to take down Xylem and leave Herman in a bit of an issue. Might just have to do a quick 180. Oh, can't get it. Gemini going to take down Herman. That's going to be nothing saved for Endeavour as we go 9-13 here in favor of Ladon.
We were just sitting on a tied scoreline, and Ladon has just been running away with these last 3 rounds. With these last 4 rounds, technically, but I mean, these last 3 rounds, you've really seen Ladon just be so dominating with their aggression. And now we see Team Endeavour on a bit of an SMG buy. We do see the P90 getting taken out very quickly as Gemini takes Havoc out. Carnage is going to chime in and take Sonics, but
Arkin
is just going big.
That's insane.
Oh my goodness.
That transfer was just insane.
I was about to say, I'm sure, Arkin should be taken out at this point because he's got 3 players running down his position. Herman getting a beautiful shot there onto Bullock. Still got 2 players to find out if he wants to win this, and that Molly is just going to tick away at his HP. Inspector is holding this angle. He knows exactly where Herman is. Herman's got quite a tall order ahead of him if he wants to win this.
Yeah, but Ladon Academy, like you said, they've just been stepping it up big time here. That pause must have definitely given them time to reflect a little bit on what they've been doing wrong. It's going to be 14 rounds to 9. One more point for Ladon is going to give them match point. And yeah, Endeavour, they have to start winning rounds now. They have to start counter-playing somehow to stop Ladon's momentum.
In all honesty, Venom Gaming actually needs to be so either incredibly careful of Ladon's aggression, or they need to counter it in an even bigger way. Because Ladon is just running away with these early kills and these early frags, and they're just translating that into such easy round wins. I mean, we haven't really seen the clock tick down whatsoever. It's just been pure frags winning them the rounds.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we saw in some of the other rounds, it's those quick early kills that really just unlock everything for Ladon, and Endeavour really have to stop those kind of rounds from going through.
Oh,
That's
do
what
you
we're
see
talking
this?
about.
I was about to say Arkin should have been caught out there, but Carnage got taken out there by the molly before he could even try and get a kill. And now Sonic's left here on the A sites alone for now. Is going to get the first kill onto Havoc. Fear eventually does trade him out. So they have a 2v2. They are going to get the bomb down. They do know where one of the players are. They have no idea that there's a second sitting right there. And Molly going to just push Herman out of position. He is going to have to just reposition and try and hold a different angle. So he should be in a position to hold Bullock if Bullock does try and take this N1 control from the middle side. But Inspector might be pushing through the smoke here, is just going to trade out. Bullock is going to try and bait and switch, but
Herman and
Fear and
Fear.
Herman are ready for it. They're going to be just playing beautifully together there. I like what Ladon tried to do. You know, Bullock was just trying to spray through the smoke, distract them a little bit, and hopefully give his teammate a chance to push through the smoke there and maybe get a free frag. But very good work there from Team Endeavour to get them their 10th round, and that's exactly what they need to do. They just need to keep playing this calmly and as coordinated as they can to try and cover for this aggression that Ladon is giving them. And this mid push is exactly a good example of it, and Carnage is going to get 2 kills, 2 early picks for him, and actually is not even going to get punished for it. I mean, he's on 73 HP. He's still quite healthy and quite ready to win this round.
Yeah, and that's the kind of early aggression we're used to seeing from Ladon, but now VGE pulling out a little bit of their own, giving them a lot of time and real estate on this map to play with. There's only one CT towards B here, so if the T's decide to rush it quickly, this is going to be an easy man advantage. They just need to check their corners, you know, as I always say.
Patchy's #1 rule.
Absolutely.
But
Bullock,
I mean,
spray through the smoke, gonna get 1. But
again, we've seen Bullock do this so many times. Not only has he just gotten a kill, but he did manage to get the bomb down, so he's going to waste a lot of time. He can actually push through here and stop the bomb plant. You see a nade come through. He's instead going to decide to play it passively, which might be the better choice since it is team numbers advantage. Other way, he takes out Xylem, and now he's given his team a chance at winning this round and match point possibly. Sonics can get this kill. Herman getting a beautiful shot there onto Sonics. Bullock is going to get Havoc, and the spray comes through from Herman. Is going to land himself a 3k and is going to land himself and his team the 11th round. So now a pause coming through again so we can talk about what just happened that round. I mean, not only did they get those 2 initial peaks, but they immediately reacted to that by rotating and pushing that B side as quickly as possible.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to see, and that's what we were talking about a lot earlier, you know, like taking that early pick or whatever and then converting it into something.
Which, interestingly enough, is actually quite risky because realistically the only information you have is that you got a few picks on A. You have no idea where the other players are. They could have been stacking B, so they took that risk and it actually paid off for them.
Yeah,
but it could have just as easily gone wrong if, you know, it was possibly a B side, you know, stuck in and then just had 2 players pushing middle. So, I mean, kudos to not only the individual players pulling through 3Ks and 2Ks to win it out for their team, but Ladon they just keep pushing it to such a close round every single time. It's constantly coming down to these 1v1s, these 1v2s, 2v2s, you know, constantly such close rounds that just end up being anyone's game at any point.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, now we're in a position where VGE, they're starting to build up that momentum, and now, you know, Ladon on this little save here, they got some pistols on them. And, you know, there's a chance for VG to potentially take this to 13-14 before Ladon have a chance to really get something going.
Yeah, well, that's if the Deagles don't do what they're meant to do.
Yeah, if the 1Vs don't come out.
If the one and these CZs again, and the 5.7 actually. And the P250, actually.
Yeah, a lot of people underestimate the power of the CZ, but if you've been watching, even in this tournament, but just CSGO tournaments in general, you'll see that if you are practiced with that CZ, it can be absolutely deadly, because you can use it almost like a pseudo USP, and you can use it like a kind of pseudo SMG, so it's very powerful.
Also, especially in the hands of Gemini, I mean, he's consistently shown, you know, 1 to 2 frags almost every single time that he's picked up that CZ so far. So I mean, you know, at this point, Venom Gaming should be quite well aware if they're keeping track of economy, how Ladon's economy is going. So they should sort of be on the idea that there's a possibility that Ladon could go for a save at this point. It's not necessarily given since the economy's sitting at around 4 to 3k for some of the players, but surely they should take this round, sort of as a default, just kind of see where the players are heading and maybe get a pick if they can. But especially with what Ladon has been doing with the aggression that they've been taking, holding that default and just waiting to see if you can spot a player out and get an early frag should be very crucial in this round.
Yeah, it certainly will be, and we're gonna have to see Ladon pulling the big sneaky, I suppose. Gemini, like you said, getting those frags with the CZ. Ark and Sonic's gonna have to be using those deagles to get as many 1-deags as possible if they want to be winning this round. But honestly, I think VG, they definitely are capable of bringing this one back. They've got the momentum in their favor, have the AKs, so they could certainly be making this one 12-14 and potentially even more. We are just waiting for this technical pause to stop. Apparently some players just having a little bit of issues. Finally though.
A little bit of ping issues there.
Yeah.
As a standard in South African CS, to be fair.
Absolutely. If there's no ping issues though, you're not in South Africa. Apparently some bloke went for a P, as he so aptly puts it.
Well, I mean, that's quite an important thing to take care of.
Yes, for sure. You don't
Stay
want
hydrated and take action if you're too hydrated, I guess.
Indeed. But finally, we're going to be going into the round 26 of this map, which is map 3 and the final map between these two teams.
Did you actually see Ladon going for this mid push again with the
this could
grenades,
be-
stacking so much damage there onto Fia and Herman? So I mean, they're one pistol shot
Gemini's
away, and
nestled.
Gemini so close with that
close.
CZ.
That
I
was
said
just
it,
brilliant.
and I'll say it again. Gemini's very good with that CZ. He's managed to convert it into at least a kill, maybe even 2 sometimes. But either way, Team Endeavour are going to go for this A push now. They should have the numbers advantage, but they have no idea where any of these players are sitting. And Fear is so low, with Carnage also getting chimed into a little bit of a damage. Now sitting on 64 HP, they need to find Inspector on the site. Carnage is going to manage to get that kill, so that should clear up the A site and get the bomb down for them. They still have the numbers advantage and the gun advantage. They just need to defend it and get them this 12th round. But these deagles, we've seen what these deagles can do at this point, so they need to
especially
be
with these low HPs.
Oh, Fear taking so many fights with 9 HP. He's making me nervous. I don't know how he's not nervous right now. Xylem
Ooh.
going close and personal, getting his 2nd kill, making that a 3rd, and is going to win his team the 12th round that they so desperately need. And right now, Ladon will be able to buy up if they so choose, which I mean, surely they should.
Yeah,
I'm sure
they
they're
have to,
very
yeah.
keen to finish it. I'm sure they're very keen to finish it and get their match points and hopefully get their 16th point. Herman, on the other hand, does have an AWP, so I'm curious, and he has the spawn, so I'm curious to see if he's going to take this early peek. Sonics has been very decisive in this peek. It doesn't seem like Ladon is going to give him the chance to, as none of the players do seem to cross. And Sonics is actually sitting on B. Carnage might get caught out. Is going to manage to get past. And I like what we're seeing from Ladon, that they're immediately reacting to that information with the player jumping over and resetting and playing a little bit more passively, waiting for this. They should have information that there's a player in apps right now. So, as we see, it does seem like Team Endeavour's A execute is going to cost them a little bit of time, as they need to find and catch these players out.
Now the utility is coming in, so they're definitely breaking slowly into the site. It's going to go down immediately though.
Bullock. Carnage doing a lot of work, chiming in, getting Arkan, but Bullock still on the site, still alive, doing so much work for Ladon right now. Is going to give his team time to rotate.
Ooh, Havoc gets a crucial pick. That's going to allow the bomb plant. 2v3 now. Sonics and Inspector. Oh, what a shot from Sonics.
I mean, he's still in this and still now 2v2, so quite even, but Sonic's going and entering with this up. Might catch Xylem off guard, but he's standing on his head!
He didn't realize that
Permanent's
the he didn't realize that the
Oh,
box seemed a little bit too long.
I thought that he was actually going to be catching, the Team Endeavour player off guard because he was actually not looking, but instead he walked on his head and, rather took the chance that he was on side. I mean, we spoke about, I believe it was Havoc's clutch earlier against Ladon, and I said it was in part a little bit of luck and in part just absolute skill and game sense. But again, it's that 50-50 chance. Do you take the chance to look straight down, thinking that there might be a player, or do you prepare yourself for one being on site? I mean, it's a 50-50 chance, and unfortunately, there for Sonics it did not pay out. But I mean, that was still such a good round there from both teams. Again, such close rounds. I mean, you would expect these rounds to be clean sweeps for either teams, but they always come down to a 1v1. I think Ladon has so far been the only team that could consistently, get a clean sweep round, but it's not translating into our scoreline as we're sitting on 13-14. Still very close for both teams.
Yeah, and it's that 13-14 that I predicted earlier. Hashtag big brain.
Big brain strats, and now Ladon is again on the save round, and instead of pulling out a nice crazy pistol strat like they did the previous round, they're gonna opt for just the default setup. Arkan is boosted with Gemini right close there to trade out, and Herman's gonna get that first shot onto Bullock. It does seem like they can go for this B tech now.
Yeah, but the bomb's all the way over at A, and they realize there's no players towards B, so that bomb's going to be rotating as quick as possible. Havoc doing a little bit of distraction here. It's going to take down one, gets traded though. The bomb needs to make its way towards B, because that site is fully controlled right now almost. Carnage going to take that full control there. Now it's just Inspector. And yeah, no one's here.
I mean, you want to stop nuking your enemies. I think Venom Gaming have just pulled one over on Ladon. I mean, Inspector is going to be able to get a gun for his troubles, so it's not a complete loss for Ladon right now. But Venom Gaming again are going to be tying it out. 14-14 will be our scoreline, and Endeavour is still very much in this. They really want to win this.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, both of these teams are so keen, to get this win. Like you said, there's a little bit of extra motivation there, knowing that at the end, getting that W also means supporting that charity that maybe means a lot to you, that you've chosen to support in this cup. And so yeah, both of these teams are looking keen to get this. 14-14 is the scoreline, and it is so close here. Maybe we even see overtime.
I mentioned it earlier, and right now it's looking like that's just closer and closer, like that's going to be what's happening. Ladon is going to be able to buy up this round though, so not really the buy up that they wanted. Not all of their players have diffuse kits, not all of their players have head armor, though they're going up against AKs. But Venom Gaming they have the utility and the kit advantage here, so they're just going to manage now, or matter now, if they can translate that into kills. We do see a little bit of a B-tech here. The flash is going to come in, might catch Carnage out, and he is going to get taken down. Actually going to translate that into 2 kills for Ladon. And now they've got that early advantage though, but it does seem like Team Endeavour is going to take this A-side take, which might be the right cause. There's only 2 players waiting on. Arkan and Sonic are going to need to defend this A-site.
That was some great utility usage from Arkan there. Stops
beautiful
that
shot
Molly.
from Sonics as well. And now already just a 2v5. Ladon not itching to get this match point and itching to finish this game, I'm sure. Sonic's weirdly enough not taking the shot there. Zalem is going to catch him out and is going to get the kill instead. And he doesn't have an idea where Arkan is. But I mean, there's already 2 to 3 players rotating. Oh,
that's
the
the head
shot
you
through
need.
the wall. That was a beautiful shot there. He managed to connect it, which gave away Arkan's position once again, just to get traded by his team. Actually, a very nice wallbang there. Did a lot of damage.
Yeah, but now it's a 2v3, a position that VGE maybe have a little bit of favor now that they didn't have earlier.
Bullock is going to take the first shot. Asylum getting such a good flick there. He's going to get the
Oh
second.
my
They got
word!
Inspector, And with Havoc chiming in, that is going to be match point not for Ladon, but instead for Venom Gaming. Again, these rounds are just so close that it can be anyone's game. Now, Venom Gaming are finally set to actually win this and win the grand final and win money for the charity of their choice, which is Chalk South Africa, up against Ladon's choice, which is Woolies. So either way, very, very crucial round to both players. Ladon needs to get this 15 round, and we will be then taking to overtime. Xylem is going to say no to that. In is going to take Sonics out. Is looking for another one. Herman is going to get the second. Carnage chiming in. Venom Gaming on the road to win this round. Only 2 players left in their way. Is going to spot Arkan out. He is still fighting back though. He is going to take down Fear, and now Havoc taken out Arkan. Only Inspector left to keep Ladon in this and take us to overtime. Is going to take Herman out. He still has 3 players to find. He still has a bomb to defuse. He is going to unfortunately have to rush this a little bit because he doesn't have the time. He needs to find the kills and find the defuse. Xylem is going to be watching this position. And Venom Gaming, against all odds, have come back and are your winners of the grand final for the Metanoia Charity Cup.
That is amazing.
Oh my goodness.
I guess Ladon are not going to get their Woolies water today. It seems VGE have really pulled this one back, you know, against what we thought was going to happen considering the first map, you know, and even the beginning of the second map, VGE just looking down and out. Suddenly they just switch on, suddenly everyone's playing, the team goes crazy, the individuals go crazy, and then we come into Inferno and it's neck and neck the whole way, and then the last 2 rounds, the rounds that really count, VGE just absolutely crush. Such a great performance from both of these teams, and VGE going to be walking away with that W. That is so amazing. Like, that's just incredible. I'm super satisfied with what we saw today.
That W has to mean so much more, not only for you know, I personally talking to a lot of the Venom Gaming guys because they're obviously from my hometown, but they're such a new team, so to come into this Charity Cup not only essentially as the underdogs because they're such a new team, but also to actually manage to walk away with the W, not only for themselves but also for their charity, which is Chalk South Africa, which is such a great cause and such a worthy fight. And Venom Gaming they've really just outdone themselves, in all honesty. Not only did they come back from their previous loss to Ladon, which was a 2-0, which was such a clean, you know, sweep, but they've managed to not only come back, but they've also won it.
Yeah, you know, you're talking about those underdogs, and that's exactly what VGE just did there. You know, like you said, they lost previously to VGE, they got knocked into the lower bracket, and they won all the way through the lower bracket, came back to the grand final, and beat the team that beat them. So, I mean, that's just absolutely well played. And really good stuff, really great Counter-Strike that we saw today. And that's pretty much going to wrap up the Metanoia Charity Cup. Yeah, thank you so much, guys, for joining us. Thank you so much for sticking by and watching and, you know, just supporting and all that good stuff. Unfortunately, I can't take you to the stats screen because somewhere in the middle of the stream, my OBS actually crashed. But it's still working. I made sure of that. It has this weird, like, subroutine function that keeps it going even though it crashes, so the stream is still going, but I can't change the scene, so you're just stuck watching the CSGO screen right now.
Oops.
Yeah.
Alright, well then from the side of Metanoia we want to say a very, very big congratulations to the guys of VG Endeavour. You guys really did play well, phenomenal games. Ladon, CSGO, you guys also played phenomenal. Really well played, guys. It was insane to watch. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time.
Yeah, absolutely. That was something
ridiculous.
else.
Yes, no, definitely.
There's no words for it other than ridiculous.
Yeah, the plays were ridiculous. Congratulations, dude. I can't believe how interesting these games were. It was really phenomenal to see. And a very big thank you to you, our lady EsProxy, and Mr. PatchworkFennec. Thank you so much for all the hard work you guys put into tonight. We really do appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Always a
No
pleasure.
problem. Definitely, I had a lot of fun casting this tournament. It's just been so much fun to watch. Like all the teams, all the talent, all the shining stars, and all culminating to this one event where the underdog, the new lads in the park, so to say, win it. take the win and support Chalk, like you said, a very worthy cause to support.
No,
Yeah, I mean,
definitely.
kudos to them for coming back and just winning not only for themselves but, as you mentioned, for charity, which I mean is always just such an honor to see.
Yeah, absolutely. But with that, I think that's it. I think that's all we have to say. So yeah, then that's going to be it. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. And like I said earlier, keep in touch with Metanoia. Follow those social media accounts. Check the website for things that are coming up. Like you heard in the panel right in the beginning, next year's event's going to be crazy, and I think we can expect some good things from Metanoia in the future. So definitely eyes on this space. And with that, that's going to be it from me, PatchworkFennec, and the rest of us here. Thank you so much for joining, and enjoy your evening.